domestically abusive stalkers decided to start trolling my property about half an hour ago. I would say they've been stalking my social media and saw that I've been posting for the last few days that I would be going live at this time tonight. And they waited. And then they came around to drive around to see what was going on, to try to trigger an issue, cause problems, interferences. No, I'm still here. But I'm letting you know that they tried again. That would be the domestic abuser who sexually assaulted me, threw me across the floor, has been holding my daughter hostage, exposed her to pedophilia and his cohorts. Next. I just heard this a few minutes ago. Aptly timed and probably in response to that, spiritually speaking.
Caught a lick up the net, I'm the shit. 100 bits on the net, shopping trip. Bad bitches never fuck with counterfeits, but the lame bitch level up the loose connects. Way the stacks make the plan to attack. A whole wet.
Their careers are cul-de-sac.
My body's accent and not the fire track.
We're gonna go hard, I'm gonna get that bag back.
Every morning 8 a.m. you bet I'm
hitting the squats.
So the gram look pretty.
While my ass on a yacht.
All my bitches independent, they be making a lot. Whole crew getting litty.
Off a couple of bops.
But if I gotta chase a track,
Then I'm not nice.
if Addison the crash,
Then I shot twice.
and if the contract shit,
I won't sign it, no. I won't sign it.
if I gotta kill a hoe, I'm like
Rambo.
eating all these bitches up like we in Nando's. Let her keep his endo, smoke up
Palo Santo.
swerving like Hawaii, little Prius, fuck a Lambo. And if you gotta throw shade, cause I'm too hot, don't forget the lemonade, number 2 scotch. Every single second looking brighter on my wristwatch, like we at the tip top, but this is just a quick stop. I'm a dumb, don't forget, hand me the cash, don't do checks. In my salon, I'm a flex, pass me the gas, don't do X. All these silly little minis out of their mind, Percocet, sober or high, lean, stay the best. But if I gotta chase a check, then I'm not nice.
And if I gotta send a threat, then I shoot twice.
And if the contract shit,
I won't sign it, no. I won't sign it.
cause I got a lot of dope stuck in.
What's up, everybody? Let me open my chat. I love you guys. I've missed you. I'm grateful to be here. Despite the assholery that they tried to commit. Assholery. Yeah, there it is. Hello. One love. Somebody's mad. Let's do this one. I'm going to run through a bunch of music mediumship I've been hearing the last couple of days.
A scheme to ruin my...
Scheme to ruin my... Yeah, they had a scheme. They were trying to ruin our lives. No. Interesting. The movie's called Dead Man's Wire. They're in trouble. And it's... it was I guess a review by Rotten Tomatoes, which is the energy that's being thrown at them now in a reverse. Crybaby couldn't handle the mirror. Oh.
I got turned around in some little town I'd never been to before, working my way through.
There is fire all around me, but I have the fire inside me too.
There was something in the headlights that stopped me on a dime. Well, she was scared to death, so I said, climb in, and she climbed.
Jeez, Nikki, are you alright? You have Satan in you?
She was bruised and broke from
Sounds like a projection to me, because I'm an angel. But you know, even angels are battle savvy when they need to be. Archangel Michael is a justice angel. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm a demon because I don't tolerate people being bullies?
You think Archangel Michael's a demon just because he defends himself from people like you and them? Girl, please.
Where he was. I don't know if he's an angel, 'cause angels don't do what he did.
Well, maybe you should pop a squat on the toilet and stay off my feed, sir.
Whiskey scars I hid. I never thought my day of justice come from a judge of mercy, but I knew right then, right.
When you smudge, it has to be lit by a match, not a lighter. Are you delusional? And you're going to try to tell a Native American how to burn sage? Boy, bye. Girl, bye. Well, I'm Seminole, and that is not true. Fire's not applicable to be fire unless it comes from a piece of wood. What do you mean? You know, the lighter fluid in this comes from the earth too, so how is it not qualified to light sage when both of them are fire? You are delusional.
Cigarettes and waited for the
You're a dumbass. No, yeah, you are. You are. You're projecting. And since you have nothing viable to say, I'm going to close your mouth for you. Yeah, you have to light sage with a piece of wood, okay? Well, if that's what you think, based on that and your other demeanors alone, I can tell you've missed a few lessons in life, including the one your mama failed to teach you, which was if you had nothing nice to say, then keep your fucking mouth shut, ma'am. Bye. Have fun not being able to comment now, since you lost the privilege. 1:11 on the clock. Yeah, see, that's an angel number. Demons where? I'm just closing their mouths. Running around her. Are you mad? Yeah, you're furious. Oh, I can tell. I hate her. Too bad. Stay mad. Yeah, some of them are crying now. Aw. That was fast. Didn't take long for the punching bag to punch you back, did it?
birds that I didn't unpack the love. I'm packing my bags that I didn't unpack the last time. I'm saying see you again so many.
You know what that was, by the way? I'm gonna demand that you light sage a certain way, or somebody complaining about the sage. And if you're complaining about the fact that I'm lighting sage to clear the space and the energy, sitting over there being a negative Nancy, I can tell that it's working because it's rubbing you the wrong way. What a weird thing to be mad about. What's up? You came on from another account to try to run your mouth. Guess what? That one's being muted too. Earth, wind, and fire. That's right. Wind. Fire. Earth. Wind. Fire. Hi, Jamie. How are you? Hi, little kitten. How's Bunny? Fluffy, how's Fluffy? Are you alright? How are you? You alright? You are? It's warm there, man. Hot. It's a desert. City lights.
Getting in the Addison, unless you pack your bags, you're coming.
They're mad. Look, we've got bigoted Trump supporters in the comment sections, people obsessed with other people's sexual orientation, probably because they have confusion about your own. Are you confused about your sexual orientation? You're a lesbian. You must be a lesbian. I know it. Well, actually, I'm a widow. My husband had a penis. So my question is, why is that such a fixation for you, especially when you're wrong? Because, like I said, I'm a widow. I was a wife to a man and have a baby. Because I'm a woman who likes men. So I'm just trying to figure out where the lesbian fits into that, first of all. And second of all, again, why you care. And then third, why it's such a topic of fixation for you, unless you're having questionable confusion about your sexuality and trying to project it at other people. You know what that's like? That's like screaming at a brick wall because you don't like the way your reflection looks. That has nothing to do with me. In this case, I'm the brick wall. Flat as a, yeah, bitch, itty bitty titty committee. I don't have to wear a bra either. Unless I want to. So I win. But in that case, I'm the brick wall. Why are you screaming at it? Because you don't like your reflection. It has nothing to do with me. We're not the same. In fact, here's how my husband is looking at you with a weird look on his face because he thinks you're fucking weird. He died in 2016, but I agree with him. I hear my vibe tribe laughing. Well, good. I don't really care. Like I said, it has nothing to do with me, but I did figure I'd poke them back since they wanted to try to poke the bear. Except I have claws. Hurts when I do it because it sticks. Because it's accurate. Panicking now, aren't you? Sweating, I can tell. Angry little Muppets. Oh. She killed her. My kid's not dead. There have been people trying to kill us. Yeah, especially for money, but no.
I'm ready for the worst.
What do you mean?
So frightening, face whitening, feel that you can't reverse. My phone has no signal. It's not
Aw, look, they're trying to demonize me. You're not gonna like it when I give you your shit back to you. You want to try to provoke, make me the villain. I'll play the character, but you'll hate it. You'll hate it. You want to put me in my villain era? All right, bitch. You'll hate it. And I'll laugh at you. And move on with my life. And you'll still hate it. Just like you hate yourself.
where all your thoughts is chosen when I come for you. Come for you. Welcome to the panic room.
It's too bad for you. I love myself. So no matter what self-hatred you try to fling out at me,
Still,
I'm rubber and you're glue, you petulant children. Everything you try to throw at me sticks back to you.
be the cost
That's
there.
the reverse.
But these voices, these strange noises, they follow me in here.
You're so mad. You're so mad. You're so mad. You look so good, but gay. You can't look gay. I look like a woman. There's no looking gay. You're just ridiculous. Stop being hateful towards a community of people you're trying to hide, that you're actually part of, or that you're just bigoted towards. It doesn't matter that I'm not part of that community. I'm an ally, and you're disgusting. Hope you have the life you deserve.
Welcome to the panic room, where all your darkest fears are gonna come for you.
Karma too.
There's no crying wolves now, 'cause the truth is settling.
Hi, chillin'. I love you.
Hiding under
Hey, Drac.
ghosts
What's up?
for your nightmare to begin. There's no crying wolves now.
There's nothing you can say about me, not my appearance, not my vocals, that will discourage me. I love myself. I know myself. So your self-loathing doesn't hurt me, but it screams at me that you're hurting. And that's a you problem. Maybe you should go to therapy.
'Cause the truth is settled in, hiding under ghost town. For your nightmare to begin. Welcome to the panic room. Welcome to the panic room, where all your darkest fears are gonna come for you. Come for you. Welcome to the panic room. You'll know I wasn't joking when you see them too. See them too. Hell raising, hell raising. I'm ready for the worst.
And I was this morning. I knew they were going to try to instigate an issue this morning. You look too skinny. I don't care what you think. I'm not for you. My person that the universe has for me thinks I'm fucking phenomenal. So none of you matter. Frankly, do you know why that is the case? It's because I hold that energy about myself. I can tell you do not like yourselves. If you weren't so nasty and evil, I'd feel bad for you. But I don't. Second self. Yeah, you're two-faced and I can see it. Projecting. Because I hang out in my kitchen and you try to bully people online. But who has the problem? Bitch, not me. Yeah, have the life you deserve. you too. I am awesome. I do just clap back when people give me a reason to. I'm a cool ass bitch until you give me a reason not to be. I'll flip that Gemini switch real fast.
In my heart, I know it's true.
It's always warranted though. It's a response. Don't try to provoke an issue if you don't want me to put you in your place.
In my heart, I know it's true.
Fuck, she's right. We gotta leave her alone now. Heard that. Toodles. Seek therapy. MAGA, 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 Trump. You know what? I can tell you're mad that Trump can't be president again. You're mad that his term is up. Aww. And of course you think that trying to troll people online is appropriate because you like Donald Trump, who was tantruming back and forth on Twitter with Vladimir Putin, if I recall, to the point of threatening another world war and pissing him off to the point that he started bombing Ukraine after. You're nasty. This is why you're mad. This is why people don't like you in life. And then this is why you're mad to the point where you feel like you need to lash out at people like this. Seek help.
I was listening to the ocean. I saw a face in the sand. But when I kicked it up, then it vanished away from my hands. Done. I had a dream I was 7. Climbing
Yes,
away
John.
in a tree.
Yes,
I saw a
John.
piece of heaven waiting in
Yeah,
patience.
and I'm Native American, so I chief on the peace pipe.
And I was
Shamelessly.
running far away when I went off.
Traffic!
Someday nobody knows, nobody knows. And I was dancing in the rain, felt alive and I can't complain. And oh, take me home,
Take me home.
take me home.
Take me home. Take me home. Take me home. Take me home. Yeah, you're very racist, you know. Quantum vibration, love that. I seem like I'm on meth because I hang out in my kitchen and listen to music and smoke weed and clap back at people who try to come in my kitchen to bully me. I wouldn't invite you over for tea. So why do you think that it's appropriate to try to come in my kitchen and be a rat? And why do you think that I wouldn't get a rat out of my house or call it out for being where it doesn't belong, you dirty shit? Hello. Nothing you say is credible. You're just trying to be insulting by saying things that don't match up to the reality or even make sense. But I can tell that you're hateful because I won't tolerate your hatred. You're being mean to me because I'm trying to be mean to you, and so I'm going to be mean to you. You're being mean to me because you won't let me be mean to you. You're fucking delusional. child.
Take me home.
All right. I wouldn't want to come to your house for tea, but you do though. I wouldn't want to come to your house for tea, but you do. Because you're in my kitchen screaming at me. Okay, and I just made some tea. So that's exactly what you're doing. And you're being a dick about it. Crazy pants.
So stupid.
Yeah, right. So stupid, he says. Exactly. And bitch, you're in my tea corner. You're in Alex's Wonderland now. Sit down. Buckle up. Nasty. No. I have not said anything racist about Asians. Are you gonna try? I'm temporarily on your side. I'm a previous troll, but I'm temporarily on your side. No, you're not. Oh, you said some racist shit in the last. See, you're starting the trolling again. Because that's not what happened. Nobody said anything racist about Asians. I was talking about hair texture because I went to cosmetology school in 2012. And the cosmetology school taught us about type 1 hair, which is called Asian hair. Often. Why? Because the majority of Asians have this type of hair. And so many Asians have that type of hair, and compared to other, like, white people have a mix. They've got really curly hair, they've got like more wavy hair, but for the most part, Asian culture, it's just really thin and straight. There's not really much variation unless they do a chemical texturizer. So because, numerically speaking, statistically speaking, as a genetic category, their hair type is typically straight, it's generalized as Asian hair. Even people that aren't Asian, that have type 1 hair types, sometimes you will hear it called Asian hair, and that's why. If nothing else, it's giving credit to the Asian culture. It's giving notice to them that that's their predominant texture. It's just math. It's just numbers. It's just statistics. There's nothing racist about that. It's just education. I am Native American. I'm not Asian. But my hair type, when I was sitting in the chair in cosmetology school and nobody could get it to hold a curl because I have type 1 hair, soft and straight, the cosmetology instructor said, oh, they're having a hard time getting it to curl because you have Asian hair. And I said that too. I'm like, I'm not Asian. She said, no, it's just called Asian hair because of the type that most Asians have, more than white people. Black people have mostly curly hair, often, or textured hair. White people, Caucasian people have a pretty solid mix, but mostly Asians just have straight hair. It's type 1. So, no, stop trying to twist beautician education into something it's not for slander. That's trolling, and it's also illegal. It's defamation and harassment, and you're just a brat. And this is why you come here every night, because you have no friends and you have nothing to do with your life, do you? You don't have to answer that, I know. Yes, I do. No, you don't, because you wouldn't be here doing this if you did. You'd be somewhere else doing a hobby or hanging out with a friend or even talking to one on the phone or something, but you're not. Because you don't have anything going on for you. You're bored and you don't like yourself.
You keep on telling me you're
No, I'm not. But a lot of the people who've been after me have borderline personality disorder or some kind of cluster B personality. They gave me complex PTSD because they're personality disordered. Now I don't tolerate their shit or anybody else's. But there's a difference. You're pulling the veteran out of me. You're pulling the warrior out of me. You're pulling the combat trauma bad bitch out of me. And I'll kick you in your fucking teeth. You want to try to use me as a punching bag? I'll punch you back harder. But you're not going to say that I'm mean or I'm demonic because you tried to hit me first. Leave people alone.
Mr. Hyde.
See about you, Trillomatic. You can't read me. You don't have permission to read me, and you've got no reason to read me. I can read on you because you're trying to come into my house and stir the pot. But I don't come over to your house or in your feed and bother you, do I? X. Hey, George, what's up? Like I said in the beginning, Mr. George Clinton Eisworth and his loser friend Reese Goff, who has 2 kids and a wife, apparently, were just stalking my house just before I started this live feed about 30 minutes prior. Why? Because I've been posting what time I was going to go live today, and they just waited. They just waited, and they wanted to try to trigger. And I knew that would happen. God told me about it a few days ago. They're trying to purposely trigger you to fuck up your day. Fuck with your day. That's what it said. I know. It's because you hate yourselves. And you're going to prison. And I'm going to put you there. This is crazy because I can call you out spiritually and legally and psychologically, and either way you're trash. And so you think that you can discredit all of the others by saying, don't believe the psychology or the whistleblowing because she's crazy, because she thinks she's a medium. You know, but all of it lines up, though, including the evidence of your crimes, you idiot. They're mad that they're being cleansed out. Envious of your children in pregnancy. Like I said, holding my child hostage, abusing my child, trying to cause drama between my chat here, trying to cause drama and fights between your love connections and relationships, jealous of your material, lifestyle, home, and cars. Yep, they've been pocket watching. They can't stand to see you shine, so they're throwing dirt because they're dirty little pigs in the mud. Now, bitch, I will not be casting my pearls to swine. Excuse you. We do not roll around in the mud with pigs. You both get dirty and the pigs like it. Nasty. It's because they're jealous, Dark Ace. Max, where's Max? Hi, Max. I do love Max. Solitaire. No. And you're gone for just being nasty to Max. No. She doesn't love you, Max. Really? I'll get rid of you for him. So here, Trillomatic, your housing's going to go to shit because you tried to come in my house and stir the pot. So expect leaky roofs, housing issues, cracked walls, hot and cold, your heating or electric systems going out, plumbing issues, bursted pipes, broken windows, squeaky stairs, or just nowhere to live. They don't realize they're sending the evil eye with words and actions. Well, when you come here and you watch me and you're jealous and you're nasty and you feel some kind of way about it, and after you've seen something and it's made you mad and then it makes you want to lash out, that's the evil eye. Whether you're actually lashing out in some kind of way or stirring the pot or you're just thinking negative thoughts, you saw something that made you jealous and then you had evil intent that you sent out because of what you saw. That's the evil eye. It's very simple to understand if you're not an idiot. Yeah, how's that return to sender? Feel like my toes between your teeth, eh? Fucker. Piss off, George. And co. And all your dirty cops, too. Because they're going down as well. They won't have jobs. I've been making the reports and collecting names. To take to the federal judge. Who knows what you've been doing and knows that you tried to steal from me after the federal court ruled that you would hurt me in the first place. So yeah, the federal court knows that you injured me into qualifying for help and then you came in and filed fraud to steal the help to keep me injured or keep re-injuring me, you're going to fucking prison. And I don't feel bad for you. You're gonna rot. With Sergeant Sundberg. In fact, they're both involved with that shit. They have been for years. Liam Harrington too. God, I got some names. I'll name names if you provoke me, so shut your fucking mouths. My platforms are way bigger than the ones who tried to shut me down. Thank you. Been hearing that one all day. Anything else? Unexplained freak accident. Oh yeah, when shit hits the fan and people suddenly start dropping dead around you or getting in car accidents or your brakes fail and what. Yeah, that's not an accident. That's karma. That's God putting your ass in place. Can't stand your grind and hustle. Generational family. Yeah, so they're trying to create cycles. The same people who've been doing this to my child and I, in some cases, are some of the same people who were doing this to me and my mom when I was a child. I was in my daughter's shoes, so they've been doing it for decades. This shitty little small town corrupt system. Mm-hmm. In fact, Reese and George sat in court together and lied. They pretended like they didn't know each other and said that under oath, even though they're friends. Claimed that they weren't friends to a judge. But before the judge walked in, we're sitting there chatting back and forth like they were old friends, because they are. And then they lied and said they didn't know each other when the judge walked in. They claimed that I was homeless and that I don't see doctors, so they should have permission to continue kidnapping my minor child and get away with doing so for all these years. I'm not homeless. My daughter learned to walk on these floors. First of all, I taught her to walk here. And second of all, they assumed that because the property that is also family owned next door was being torn down. So while Reese was stalking and casing the joint for George, they filled in the blanks in their delusional head and went to court and said, yeah, and she's homeless because the house next door was being torn down. But what they didn't know, because it was none of their business, was that it was only being torn down to be rebuilt back up. So they made up this delusional story and lied about it on paper in court, which will be held against them. And the only reason I have doctors is to help me heal from and prevent further injuries that they have been causing. So not only do I get medical care, but they're the ones who caused the need for it. That's a damage. Those are damages. They're going to prison. Yeah. George's parents aren't safe either. They helped him. His mommy lied for him in court. His fake-ass Catholic mommy, thou shalt not lie or be covetous or steal, right? They lied because they were being covetous to steal and kidnap my child. Hello, 3 out of 3, right there. And then his daddy paid for it, slush fund. So they're all in trouble. George Clinton Eisworth, the domestically abusive rapist who's been sending people to stalk my house even as of today and holding my daughter hostage. Yeah, working with dirty cops and lying to judges to get away with it. Working with, paying people with my stolen money to hurt my child and I. Yeah. Yeah. Well, guess what? George has venereal diseases. It's the sperm donor of my child, unfortunately. Take a spiritual bath. I just got out of one. Mm-hmm. And he started kidnapping her to punish me for leaving. And steal my money, including my inheritance and hers when my grandmother died. No, I don't have anything. I'm clean. But he went around falsely accusing people that have never had an STD of giving him STDs, which meant that whether he knew he was doing it or not, while trying to falsely accuse people of giving him STDs, he was confessing that he had them.
HPV, he said. Wouldn't surprise me if there were other things there. Now I smoke weed to avoid Percocet. But George is, ooh, earth sign. Yeah, Taurus. George is a junkie, though. He loves Percocet. And heroin. And oxys. Freeze them. That doesn't belong in there. That's a different deck. They're stuck. They're upset because they're stuck with the consequences of their actions. They're not being able to ride off my coattails. Things aren't working out for them the way that they wanted, and they're mad at me for it. Somebody's asking, why are they so angry and nasty in the comments? Yeah, that's why. Easily dispels negative energy, at the same time attracts positive energy, balances and regulates negative forces and energies. And that's what I do here. This is quartz. So it's, yeah, I was never married. No, I tried to leave him when I was pregnant, and I left him when she was a brand new, like, couple-month-old baby. I did leave. I tried to leave when I was pregnant, and he said, please don't leave me. We'll go to couples therapy. So we went to Eleanor Panko, and it took 3 sessions for her to diagnose him as a narcissistic sociopath and me with just regular tier 1 PTSD. I didn't have complex PTSD until after he started kidnapping my daughter and abusing us this way. Yes, George is a druggie and an abuser and a pedophile at that. He put pornography on the TV screen when she was in kindergarten with her and was watching it. The fuck? Yes. No, I didn't marry him. I left him when I realized that he lied about who he was and actually was copying Del Rey, my partner, you see, because I met Del through him. And all the things that were the best qualities of Mr. Meeker, the narcissist was trying to copy and project. Even down to the number 22, which was Del Rey's football number in high school. Just weird. Like that level of psychotic. Pervert needs to go to prison. Absolutely. And because I speak about it, because the hostage situations and the abuse is still ongoing, the financial theft even, he's still getting money every month, stealing from me. They're sending people to stalk my house to retaliate or try to find a point to find me alone where they can target or take me out or, right. I know what they're doing. Trying to cause slander. Trying to cover up what they're doing. Trying to spin the narrative. I know what they're doing. Prison justice. Oh, I will. And that's why they're nervous and they're scared and they're lashing out because they know that. No, you need a therapist though, Derek. So, yeah. You want to talk about demons? George is the demon. George is possessed. Del Rey, when I talk about Mr. Meeker, my dead husband, he died in 2016, that's Del Rey. Now, I met him through George. They went to high school together. What happened was Del and I, we were all friends, and then Del saw him abusing me. And he stood in between George and I and physically stopped the abuse. And nothing was the same after that. I knew as long as he was around, I would be safe. No, I wasn't married to George. And so when I was like 9 months, 7 or 8 or 9 months pregnant, I tried to leave him. And I bet it was his dad, actually. Hi, Dave. Love you, love you. Who said, oh, you just throw out couples therapy on the table. And so we went. She diagnosed him with complex PTSD. She diagnosed him with narcissistic sociopathy and me with regular PTSD. And he quit going. He quit going after that and said, well, you're just agreeing with her because you're both women. You're just telling me to stop drinking and drugging and lying and cheating and being abusive because you both have vaginas. Okay, misogynist. Yeah. See the justice scales tip the scales in your favor. They're in trouble and they know it. Okay. So I heard, so Mr. Meeker was a protector. Yes, absolutely. Anything else you want to tell me about these assholes? Envious of your children in pregnancy. Karma's a bitch, and I told you that. Karma's only a bitch because they were. Evil eye they sent your way has backfired. How's that? You want to try to slander and cover the truth? I'm going to tell it harder on you. It makes you look worse. Because now people know what you did and that you tried to cover it up again. To try to target my family. You vampires. Energy vampires. Yep. Stalking. The moral of the story is George is jealous that you chose Del Rey, and now that George sees that Del Rey is no longer in your life. Well, that's the thing. Is he's mad that I would still choose a dead man over him. Because they used to try to bully me. Your husband's dead. And? I'd rather have a dead husband who taught me what real love was like than a living, breathing, narcissistic sociopath, you piece of shit. I wouldn't wipe the bottoms of my dirtiest shoes off on you. Wouldn't use you as a doormat. You are too dirty. Yes, George did kill Del Rey. He bullied him to death. Just like you've seen him do to me, because he is a diagnosed narcissistic sociopath, and that's what they do. They're fucked up in the head. Mentally and emotionally deficit. Del and I were not legally married on paper, but he called me his wife, and he was slipping a engagement ring, it was actually one of mine. He would take it out of my jewelry box, and he would put it on my finger every morning before he went to work, and he wouldn't try to wake me up, but I would wake up, just being a light sleeper. That way, he would be down on his knees on the floor, like kneeling down, kind of like this, and like trying to quietly slip this ring on my finger. So when I woke up, I'd have this little, it was just costume jewelry, a little delicate cubic zirconia. It was like from Claire's or something from when I was in high school. But yeah, he, bless you. Good night. He would slip it on my finger, and I would wake up that way. It was like him promising moving forward. And then I woke up about 30 days after all of that to find him dead on the floor. It's kind of his way of saying, no matter what anybody says, you know my heart. And I did. Causing you to feel paranoid, living in fear. I'm not scary. Look, that's twice. That's 2 separate trolls that have apologized. One of them did come back and immediately start trolling, but they did apologize at first. And so did one of the dirty cops the other day, too. So, I mean, I trust you or accept your apology? No. Do I think you mean it? No. Often not. You're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught and are hoping to skew consequences. You're hoping that I'll let you off the hook if you fake sorry. It's called a faux apology, and I'm too versed in the law and psychology for you to pull that shit. Toodles. Narcissistic behavior, told you. Copycat, trying to copy your every move. They can't see shit. But I know what's coming. I knew what they were going to do before they did it, and I know how this is all going to play out for them. And it's the opposite of what they're trying to force. They're trying to force a destiny that was never meant to be, and that's why it's giving them bad karma. And will continue to do so. How do you like them apples? Pie face. I'd tell you to kiss my royal ass, but you will never have that privilege. So there's that. I didn't play this. I like this one. Yeah. So making these fake accounts to try to be problematic, but they're also mad that I won't talk to them. George complained to a judge that I changed my number and wouldn't give it to him. I posted the court transcript. Yeah. He also, on one of those same court transcripts, said he was asked by, I think it was his auntie lawyer, which is illegal. Also, you're not allowed to hire your family in like that. It's a conflict of interest. But they asked him, this lawyer, she mentioned that there was abuse or there was violence between you or something like that. And they asked him, like, if it happened. Did the abuse happen? She claimed that you abused her. Did it happen? And he said no. But he went to jail for abusing me. I didn't call the police on him. The neighbors did when they heard him abusing me through the wall. And then the police came up and listened through the door and heard him abusing me. So they kicked in the front door to witness this and arrested him. They hauled him off. He pled guilty to a judge and he went to jail. And then he wrote me an apology letter from jail that I still have with the envelope signed from the jail in his handwriting. Stamped from the jail and the post office. But he doesn't like people to know about that, right? Because it doesn't fit the fake narrative that now he's trying to spin, where he's pretending like that never happened. Where he wants people to see him as not a criminal. But the truth of the matter in the paper trail doesn't line up to the slander he's been telling. And it never has. It's why they target me this way. You ask why? If you understand narcissism and those personality disorders, that's why. It's part of their personality disorder. It's mental illness. It doesn't excuse it because they know what they're doing and they know what they're doing is wrong, and they can control themselves when they want to, right? They've been making a point to try to hide things and cover things up. So they know that they are going to be in trouble if they don't hide it, and they know that what they're doing is wrong, otherwise they wouldn't need to hide it. That's not like mental illness, insanity. That's just sneaky and manipulative and evil, sadistic. Okay? So it doesn't shirk them of responsibility. They're trying to project all of their shortcomings and their crimes even onto other people, onto the victims that they've been hurting. Because they know that what they're doing is bad. So they want people to look at us as if we're doing those things. Because they know that what they're doing is bad and they don't want those people to look at them that way. So it's mental illness, but they're still responsible. Legally. There's no insanity plea qualification there. So there's that. You see, and this is what I reported to the police earlier. And every time I make a police report and there's a dirty cop, guess what? I'm documenting the dirty cops too, because they're all going in to prison with George. And I warned them again tonight that that would be the case. I said they're trying to intimidate the witness because I have testimony that can put them all away forever. And I told them, any cop who doesn't want to help me resolve this legally is going down too. Anybody who tries to get in the way won't have a job when I'm done. Okay? I'm going to work now. Good night. Yeah, no, not today, Satan. I bite back, flying monkeys. You better cut that shit out. It's not wanting to register. Here, let me do this for you. Because I prepared for that too. Yeah, there it is. I fucking hate her. Well, I'm not a fan of yours either, so that's perfectly fine. I don't want you to like me. Get out. Rats.
Oh, somebody's mad. Felt that. I was watching under their fake account. They're watching under their fake accounts and raging right now. I just looked at your comment, but as I was walking over and picking that up, and yep, you're right, Max. You're very intuitive, you know. I want something that's not distracting. Hold on. Try that. That's better. Yep. Emerald City. They wanted to call me a witch first thing. I wasn't even here for a few minutes. Yo, if she's a witch, she's a white one. But don't think I won't put you in your place. Follow that yellow brick road. Angelic. Speaking of, those fucking assholes. Of course they were trying to demonize me. Got the emerald castles and angelic emerald castles at that. On my right hand. And these karmic assholes on the left. Fucking flying monkey asses. Get out. I bite back, motherfuckers. Told you. If you try to use me as a punching bag, I'll hit you harder. Wicked ugly rats. I got something good coming for me. I know you wouldn't know the first thing about it, but next. Some of them are crying now. They went from mad, Max, to crying. Do you feel that? I do, an energy shift. It's because they know their tactics failed and it's not working. I hear that. She's leveling out. She's calming down. Yeah, you worked yourself up trying to work me up. I gave you your energy back to you. I held up a mirror to you. You didn't like it. And now I step back into my own and alchemize it. You shouldn't have stirred the pot, bitch. I let it boil over and scald you. I'm a phoenix. You don't think I can handle that heat? Honey. Do you know how many times I've rebirthed and invented myself? You wouldn't know the first thing. Called evolution. Alchemy drip, exactly. Failed tactics. Defeated and humiliated, right. Oh, I said that. Water sign. If it's not a water sign, you sit there crying. They're in their emotion, their feelings now. Blocked. Sacral chakra issues. Right. Abundance. Connections. They don't have friends. They're struggling with money, which is why they try to target our social connections and resources also. Creativity, desire, emotions. All right. They're in their feelings. Water, emotions. Hello. Told you. And I just split the deck on that. Emotions, fertility, right? Messing with children too. Freedom, motivation. That's why they wanted to oppress other people. Because they feel stuck. Or wanted to feel like they weren't by oppressing other people. Passion, pleasure, sex, and sexuality. And so they're grimy. Also, venereal diseases aren't treating you very well, are they, kiddo? Can't relate. Clean bill of health over here. I should work in the customer. I'd hurt their feelings, probably. Abundance. Hold on. What's this song? Let's do. Down there. I'm excited. Let's play some good music, shall we? I need to adjust. I think I'm going to do some yoga in a little bit. God told me that I could give you guys a couple of hours today, a good couple of hours. Although I was called to split the feed halfway in between, which we're not quite there yet, but I'll be back when I do.
I knew I probably would have to address some nonsense, but I want to also make sure to give you guys some good time and good vibes. Maybe do a non-karmic reading and some Reiki, but definitely some yoga and vibes. Thank you. I've got some good things coming for you guys. I've got lots of stuff in store. It's also why I've been taking a bit of time off. Things are changing and just been finishing off loose ends and preparing so that we're all set to go moving forward.
She get it good from she rise, but put it on so good and make she shake all she ties. Smile upon your face, me know she pleased with this eyes. Coming around to make them girl roll out them eyes. Go down there, wine and go down there. Go down there, wine and go down there. Go down there, wine and go down there. Go down there. Fine for you could make such a trip off on your body. Oh, you're full of fat and you can't keep up with the energy. What a epic night of it, embedded in your memory. What you gonna do when there is nobody that do it better than this reggae girl? I can do this every morning, every evening. I've been screaming straight back to sunrise.
Sounds like a karmic female. Oh, bitch, are you mad? I don't think so. He says go down to wine. He's talking about not wine, like wine. Wine to wine. It's a dance move. Caribbean usually. It's a hip move.
See you swinging it and it's my ambition. We give you the little love, make you turn and twist and make you feel this beat, make you balance and grip on. Go down there, wine and go down there. Go down there, wine and go down there. Go down there, wine and go down there.
Switch first.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there. My time wine. Let them know say that nobody can stop me shine. Caribbean girl, they never clean and refine. Girl, just make them know that you are one of a pile.
I heard this also, speaking of my daughter. I heard it this morning. I love this one. Speaking of divine masculine with this too, it's like a divine masculine wanting to bridge a family connection with divine feminine and like spend time. Let's go to the movies. The first movie I took my daughter to was Finding Dory. Delray and I took her. And there's a quote in that movie that goes so well with continuing to persevere through everything that not just me, not that you've seen and heard me have to deal with and move through here, but that I know a lot of us have dealt with in one form or another, just trying to clear through obstacles. And it's The mermaid in me loves this. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim, swim, swim.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movie.
Okay.
Let's go see the stars. Cowboy heroes. Cops and robbers.
Is that like a man den? Man cave?
Bigger than life.
How tall am I? Without heels? About 5'7".
In the darkness. What a world to see. Let's go to the movie and wait and see. Betty Davis is probably lying and Greta Garbo is probably crying while Robert Taylor is locked in her dying embrace. Chico and Groucho and Chaplin and Lloyd are all super. Sweet Mickey Mouse, Shirley Temple and
She tells me, my daughter, because before they started kidnapping her, we watched this together a couple times. It's a favorite. It's a favorite when I was growing up, actually. This particular scene right here, she came to me one day and said, Mommy, this reminds me of us. This reminds me of you. I just think it's precious. This is how she sees us.
boy heroes, cops and robbers, glamour and strife. Bigger
The
than
fainting
life.
chair, kicking over the chair. I had that troll kick. Kick, do the high kick, do the kick again, do the high kick. Guess it reminds more than my daughter of the scene, doesn't it?
Sitting in the darkness. What a world to see. Let's go to the movies, asking you and me. Betty Davis is probably lying and Greta Garbo is probably crying while Robert Taylor is locked in her dying embrace. Chico and Groucho and Chaplin and Lloyd are all super. Sweet Mickey Mouse, Shirley Temple and dear Jackie Cooper.
Oh, I might cry. Hold on.
Let's go see the stars. Fred and Ginger spinning madly.
I'm talking about Fred Astaire. I love Fred Astaire. I found out about Fred Astaire a few years ago. His videos started popping up, and he does some stuff with Judy Garland. He does some stuff with, if I recall, Rita Hayworth. He does dancing, music stuff with a lot of very talented people. But after watching a few of his dance routines, I realized that he and I have very similar, like we dance similarly. But in the book of karma, he and I actually share a karmic path. And when you look up my birth date, he's in there as an example of a shared path. It was quite interesting to see. Gemini, he's a Gemini. Love you, Frere. No. You go.
Anything you can imagine. Souls and romance. Life is a dance.
I didn't push anybody to suicide. I might hold people accountable. In fact, George's best friend, is that who you're talking about? Pushing people to suicide? Yeah, no, people try to do me dirty. And then when I tell the world publicly about it, they want to kill themselves because they don't want people to know about the commission of their crimes and how bad it makes them look. But that's their problem because they wanted me to die. That's why they were evil. And I said, no, you're not going to bully me to death. I'm going to tell people what you tried to do. And if that makes you want to die because your reputation is ruined, that's a you problem. Thank you. You're not going to be a pedophile and hurt kids and then get away with it. because that's what they tried. So Mr. Sean Fun in the Woods Waltz, that was his middle name on Facebook. Fun in the Woods. Why? Because he likes to go do drugs and party and festival in the woods, or he did. Now, in the middle of my daughter being held hostage, Sean Waltz, who years ago got kicked out of his home with his baby mom and their kids, I didn't know any of this, so I let him stay at the house because George had asked me to give him a place to stay. I caught on to some things. He left pornography, child pornography, like of minor girls on my computer, and I wasn't having it. Okay, so I moved on, and then years later, George started holding my daughter hostage, and Sean started posting pictures of her on his Facebook. They took her out into the woods alone. This pedophile, this convicted felon, because Sean he went to prison for a number of things. He's a felon, convicted felon. He was posting pictures of my daughter in the middle of her being held hostage. A pedophile was posting pictures of himself with my child alone in the woods when his middle name on Facebook was Fun in the Woods because he likes to do drugs and party in the woods. So I was public about it. I was loud about it. And 2 days later, he was dead. Whether it be of suicide or overdose, but he was also an addict. He was a crack addict at that, so I had a crackhead after me. If he killed himself because he didn't like the truth coming out, then I don't give a fuck. He deserved that. Because now he's not here to hurt kids anymore, is he? Or steal the last $20 his child's mother had to feed their kids because he's a junkie, is he? Because that's what he did to Maggie Lee Lever and his children. And he had another baby mom too, and it wasn't great to them. Sounds like he won't be missed? No. And George is just like him. So what do you think that says about him?
Sitting in the darkness, popcorn on your knee. Give the maid the night on.
Turn the kitchen light on. Let's go to the movies and you and me.
Hold on, let me pick a different song. You said prove it? Sure, let me pull up these Facebook posts because I've been public about this. Actually, that's funny. There's a song called War right in front of me.
The general
The General. A song called War by Voila. And the commercial is about, I think it's insurance or something, but it's like a general military man doing the ad. Why are you laughing? That's funny. I thought so. Show a case number? I don't have a case number for his suicide. You're the one accusing me of shit. So where is it? I do have posts though. I do have the evidence of me calling him out and all of that. Yeah, I posted all that, including him trying to do revenge porn against women. That's another thing. It wasn't just the pedophilia I exposed. Like I said, he left that shit on my computer, so I documented it. And he did this thing where he would go around to parties or festivals or his friends' houses or wherever it was, anywhere he could go. And if a dude would leave his phone around, he would go through that dude's phone if there was no lock security password on it to try to see if there were any photos of the guy, whoever owned the phone. Let's say the man that owned the phone's name was Bob, right? And then Sean would go into Bob's phone and see if Bob had any nudes of his girlfriend or his wife. And if he did, Bob had naked photos of his partner in there. Sean would text them to himself and then delete the messages so that Bob wouldn't know about it. And then Sean would put them on a revenge porn website asking for anybody if they had any other photos of that person. Yeah.
A bunch of locals he did this to. Local females that I knew, that I went to college with or crossed paths with when I was in school. So I let them know. I took screenshots and sent it to them and let them know how they could get it taken down. And I have all that documentation. It's all there still. So is there a case number on that? No, he's dead. But do I have the evidence? Yes. And here it is. So I always come with receipts. Don't run your mouth. Don't ask for things you don't want me to prove. Prove it. You don't want me to do it. At least the criminals don't. Don't try me, because I will. I'll name names if you provoke me, so shut your fucking mouths. My platforms are way bigger than the ones who tried to shut me down. I heard that. Somebody says, I love you. I love you too. I felt that. Thank you. Rock stars, guys. It's not fun or nice to have to address this or call it out. I don't like this. I don't like the topic. I don't like the energy. I don't prefer warrior mode. I don't. But I can do it. Freya. You want to pull me out of the love goddess because you target the children. You fucked up.
Still focusing on me. Yeah. 13,000 in Portugal, that's arena talk. Used to like.
Yeah. Well, light. Balls of light attract mosquitoes and parasites. We do. That's why we learn discernment and strengthen those boundaries and only let fellow light workers in that way.
Yeah.
That's why they're mad. That's why they're scared and they're threatened by us. What happens when you... Tell me about the shadow of the lighter. Hold on, it's not a place to do it. Tell me about the shadow of the lighter. Right, it moves when the lighter moves, yeah? When there's no flame, when there's no light, when the lighter is not lit. You see the shadow beneath it moving with it. Well, what happens, though, when the flame is on? Where'd the shadow go? Where's the shadow of the lighter? That is why they try to snuff out our light. That's why they can't stand to see us shine, as the card said, because they cannot exist. They cannot exist amongst us. They want to be seen in a certain light, right? The facade, the masquerade, the false persona, the reputation, which is not based on who they are, but who they wanted to pretend to be. But we turn on the light and it exposes their character. Because when you've got a real ball of light standing next to someone who's pretending to be one, it's very evident as to who's real and who's not. And that's why they tried to throw dirt on us too. They wanted us to look like the shady ones. Well, they tried to siphon our energy on our light. As if they weren't going to burn everything down like the reckless monsters they are. Metaphorically speaking or otherwise, some of them actually regularly joke about or threaten arson or even falsely accuse others of that, despite the fact that they talk about burning things down as if it's cute or funny themselves. So, projection. And I've got those screenshots still too. And yes, the people coming for my child and I posted those, thinking it was cute and funny. Joking about how their mental illnesses and their personality disorders were funny. Do these boobs make my personality disorders look invisible? No, bitch, they're very evident. True story, bro. Verbatim. Needs no dragons and shit.
Y'all gonna have to do better. I can't believe what I'm seeing. All this bullshit going on, the industry is deceiving. All the masses pitching rappers as these independent crimes. Meanwhile, there's been a label right behind them the whole time. Fake shit, call it out.
You were plugged before your first song.
I was putting in work.
You were getting worked on.
Fans are fickle, 'cause you'll come up
up is a mystery. My fans gon' stick with me.
Cause me and them got history longer than 2 songs. You don't know how to build. You tried to start at the roof, but you won't be here for too long.
I don't fuck with crews unless you're the one who put your crew on. The rest of y'all got buzz because he put you on a few songs.
Ooh, wow.
That's like a nerve. If the truth is somewhere, either way.
I know the truth, I'ma share it.
See these rappers sign deals, labels know what they're doing. They tell the rapper don't announce it, so the people keep rooting.
Yeah, actually,
I can keep me on the hush.
that's a good idea, Chris. Quit parking, puff, puff, pass, thank you. I have been holding the remote. Sleep tokens tonight does not belong to God. I will play that for you if you like that. I have heard it. 1, 2, 3.
But I do not give a fuck, this is my son cut, I'll expose you. You ain't really seen shit, just wait till I'm on in the song. Got a lot I gotta show you. Why you got the lie?
I'ma bring it to the light, yeah. Got that exposition, cause I put in too much time, yeah.
Coming through exposing fake shit.
God can't save you,
You're a boss, you better boss it.
and that boss rapes you.
Barely pays you, but you cool with it. You're a soldier unaware that you're a lieutenant. I got a gripe with the media.
All of y'all are wannabes,
Producers and rappers.
down for sodomy, dick taking, cause the industry tells you to. It's fucked up, I had a standard that I held you to. I'll name names if you provoke me, so shut your fucking mouths. My platform is way bigger than the ones who tried to shut me out.
Bunch of grown men and women.
Talking about grown men and women for a living, man, you gotta be kidding.
Call me bitter, call me jealous.
Call me this, call me that. This is 10 years running. What the fuck do you call that?
Make the beats, wrote the songs, sang the hooks, and I mixed it.
Everybody's got a switch and y'all just flipped it.
Try to keep me on a hush, but I do not give a fuck. This is Russ Uncut, I'll expose you. You ain't really seen shit, just wait till I'm on in the song. Got a lot I gotta show you. Why you got the lie?
I'ma bring it to the light, yeah.
Got the exposed fake shit. I put in too much time, yeah. When you traded, then you eat the hard rappers with the get rich quick skin gimmicks instead of hating. You should
Focus on your 16th minute.
We're not side by side, no split screen image. I'ma be around forever
the
like
couch.
a Springsteen ticket.
In the couch kinda gal.
Yeah, I'm rich clean with it. I put my best foot forward like a Levinsky pivot. I got blitzkrieg critics. They ain't wasting no time, but I ain't wasting no money, so I pay no mind. That's a lie I be snapping. That's my fault. I'm adjusting. The people spreading lies about me, just hating and judging for the sake of discussion. In the hopes of some clout, just been stressful. I just need some pretty hoes and some out. Put my home in the south, 10K square feet.
Mental illness, abuse of children, which I never reported. Oh, I absolutely reported all of the abuse. In fact, when police officers, Corporal Amy Nickerson from the Brewer Police Department, 8 years ago in the Brewer Community School, are you speaking to a mirror? Exactly. She concealed the sexual assault that happened to my daughter in kindergarten. She covered it up for George because his father is friends with that police department, people in the police department, which is why when he was in trouble for something else entirely, like drinking or drugging, I think it was, he was under house arrest at his parents' house, and they came to check on him, just do like a drop-in, and he was not allowed to drink or do drugs, and he was wasted, and he should have been arrested for violating his house arrest at his parents' house, his enabling criminally complicit parents' house, but they let him just sleep because his daddy is friends with the cops. It's like a block and a half down the street from his parents' house. The cop shop. It's like 2 blocks over, around the corner. 10:22 on the clock on the East Coast. And that was Dell's number. Hello. Yeah. Sound like a disgusting excuse of a human. Agreed. I agree. BG would get slapped up in real life. Yeah. Keyboard warrior. Agreed. Dandruff. Ew, I know. Go wash your hair, girl. Regardless, I'd make an awesome neighbor. I am. I bake cookies and smile. In fact, I went out to check the mail, I think this morning, early this morning, and it was very cold, but the neighbor was an older guy.
his wife and his son over the last couple of years aged out, so he's now living on his own with his girlfriend. It's just the wife and the husband and the dog there now, but husband was out there and I went to check the mail and hello, how are you? Just niceties, quick niceties. If you don't cause problems for me, I won't cause problems for you. But I won't tolerate criminal activity, especially against kids, just in general. I won't tolerate abuse either. So, yeah, look, projection. I bet you were complicit. You see, you're just parroting my words back to me. Let's see about you, BG. What's your problem? Look, envious of your children and pregnancy right off the cuff. And so then, okay, just within the last 12 months, that same police officer, Corporal Amy Nickerson, when George's parents who helped him lie in court to do what they did, and then helped him lie to the police to cover up everything, helped him pay for the slush fund, helped him. After helping him cover this up for like 8 years, they just had to call the police on him. The same police that they were having help them cover up their son's crimes with them, they had to call because he started being violent towards them. They were fine when it was towards my daughter and I. In fact, his nice Catholic mother, when George started physically assaulting my toddler, she decided instead of telling George to stop, like an adult should, that she would join him, and she started beating my daughter, my toddler, with books. Yeah. And thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not be covetous, thou shalt not be steal. His mother, Valerie Smith Eisworth, stole a book that I lent her called, it's one of my favorite parenting books, called No Bad Kids by Janet Lansbury, Toddler Parenting Without Shame. And one of the 9 guidelines in it is you do not hit. So she stole my book about not hitting kids and then started beating her with books with George. As if that was the green light. Seeing him not be able to control himself was the green light for her to be like, all right, I'll join you. Valerie, you tried to tell him go to rehab and he said no. Yeah, it is upsetting. Bringing attention to your search history, exactly. So then Corporal Amy Nickerson, who concealed the sexual assault in the kindergarten, 8 years later, was the arresting officer, right? She helped George and his parents conceal the sexual assault 8 to 9 years ago in the kindergarten class. Handful of years ago. But then just within the last 12 months, they called the same damn police officer to come arrest him for being violent. And my daughter was in the house. She was a witness when this happened, when he was arrested within the last year. And Maine is a mandated police report state. So when somebody overdoses, one of the many times like he has, they couldn't arrest him at the hospital for the overdose, but they did let the police know his social security number is flagged as a narcotic abuser, and he can't even get a prescription from a dentist after getting dental work done unless it's 1,000 milligrams ibuprofen. But that same police officer who goes between corporal and I think sergeant, she goes back and forth between the job titles sometimes. Corporal being a military reference, which means it's worse. She should know better. Even though, because my daughter was in the house and she heard what was going on, she was a witness to this domestic abuse where they had to arrest him and have him arrested. This police officer, Corporal Amy Nickerson, did not call Child Protective Services. I had to do it for her. She did not do her job as a mandated, meaning has to report it, because she knew that they already had the reports from 8 years prior that I made to them about the sexual assault, and it would have looked really bad for her to be on both cases and to have covered up sexual assault with George 8 years ago and then have to arrest him for domestic abuse
just within the last year, especially since their whole shtick against me was, don't believe her, I wasn't abusive, she's just crazy, even though he was arrested for abusing me, and then his parents just had to have him arrested too. So I guess I wasn't lying, was I? Because I'm not his only victim. They all just targeted me together until he turned around to target them, just like a narcissistic sociopath does. So, yeah, we know that you're a junkie. Here's Sean. Oh, look, here's a bit about George prostituting himself because he does that for drugs, or money for drugs sometimes has been known to do that, which is why he was falsely accusing me of being promiscuous, even though I've been celibate for a decade, even though he has STDs that I'm sure he doesn't tell people about, but I'm sure he passes around. You're mad, huh? You can prove this. I can. Why do you think Sean killed himself? You think he would have killed himself if he wasn't so threatened by the truth? Like, he knew he was going back to jail. When I spoke that was it for him. He was headed back to prison. And we both knew that. Crazy, bro. So I didn't bring anybody. I got rid of those sick people. The second I realized they were sick and they were pretending to be nice people. You see. And they've been targeting me ever since. Why? Because they're mad. They're mad that I put up a boundary. They were mad that I was protecting myself and my child from them, so they decided to kidnap her instead. I didn't let them. They lied to a judge and tried to force me to send her there. And in fact, I refused. They tried to have me falsely arrested for refusing to send her after he lied in court to get her on day 1 of custody court. George lied to get access to Aspen and I knew it was dangerous, and I knew the judge was either being stupid and dangerous or corrupt and dangerous, and I wasn't going to feed into it. So I said no, and I did not send her because it was dangerous, and as you see, it is. And George went back to court and tried to have me falsely arrested because of it. I actually had to hire a lawyer to try to protect myself from that, and forced me to send her. He kept causing problems. Then she started being sexually assaulted. He had her in places that he said he wouldn't. He did not have her in the places he told the court she would be in order to get custody of her so she'd be safe. He just lied to get what he wanted. And the second he got what he wanted, he did whatever he wanted, despite the law, despite what he had just promised a judge, despite anything, because he's a diagnosed narcissistic sociopath. You see. He tried to punish me for leaving. He tried to punish me for protecting my child from him and them. That's what this has been about. Small town corruption. Yeah, this town, it's like a population of 5,000. It's not much. All right, so. Oh, you're not feeling well, are you? Or you're going to get sick. Dude, fire sign. You're cranky, or you will be. That's why you're trying to stir the pot over here in my kitchen. I'm gonna scald you. No, that's victim blaming. Should have been more careful picking partners. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't show who they are at first. Like I said, narcissistic sociopath. He was hiding who he was, and he was pretending to be just like Del Rey. He was copying all of Del Rey's best traits. The same way he tried to project all of his shortcomings onto me, and like a weird, jealous, karmic bitch, like copy me. He started copying me after Del Rey died. It was fucking weird. But Del and I were alike, so. No, it's not my, here. It would have been my fault if I had stayed after figuring out who he was, but I didn't. I left the second I realized that he wasn't going to change, and that if I wanted things to be pleasant and balanced, that I needed to get away from him and keep my daughter safe away from him. And because he is a toxic, tumultuous person, he didn't change. He just decided to start targeting me harder in different ways. He used to rob my wallet. When I wouldn't let him in my house or close enough to do that or throw me across the floor anymore, he started trying to file fraud to have me arrested, send people to stalk me and try to hurt me for him, often paying them with money he stole from me. Again, filing fraud to steal money through wire fraud because he couldn't get close enough to me to dip his hand in my purse anymore. In my actual wallet, out of my bag. No. Abuse is never your fault. Only the abuser is responsible for their actions. Domestic abuse can happen in any relationship. You could Google this instead of trying to victim blame people. It's just basic psychology, including those in which someone is a caregiver or assists you. Let me ask you, BG. No, I did not wait until my daughter was abused. Are you fucking kidding me? I did not wait until she was abused. I left before she was abused. I was being abused, and I left before she could be abused. She was an infant. She was a couple months old when I left. And then he didn't have really anything to do with her for a couple of years. Little to none. And then that little bit that he did have access was so treacherous. I said, all right, I can't, this has to stop. You're even a little bit of time you're here. No, I never said I stayed after the abuse. I left. The second I realized, I sat with a psychologist and it wasn't going to change. The psychologist, he was trying to gaslight me into staying. And the psychologist said, no, you're also to blame. No, see, you're arguing with psychology. Yeah, he did abuse me multiple times, but not her. I left when I realized that he wasn't going to change before he could abuse her. And then he went and he lied to a judge. He filed paperwork to drag me to court to lie to a judge so he could force his way back in our lives. That's not my fault. It's not my fault he perjured himself under oath in court and hired his auntie lawyer who was partner in a law firm to do it. That's illegal too. The lack of accountability is crazy. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, their lack of accountability and thinking they're above the law, it is crazy. I agree with you. I know you were trying to project that on me, but no, uno reverse. You people are trying to create your own narrative. Exactly. Thank you. Don't disrespect this beautiful flower like that. It sounds like BG has issues. Nobody agrees with you, BG. Like, what are you doing? Austin. I heard that. That's my girl. Nasty. Yeah. So I left and we were away from him. She was here with me. He was gone. And then I got papers trying to drag me to court. So he and his mommy, his fake Catholic lying mommy, could sit down and try to get custody, partial custody of her by lying together against me all by myself. They had a slush fund together and I was all by myself with not even a lawyer. Somebody says, so how fair was that? Yeah, that's the point. It wasn't. And it was a rigged small court system anyway. You left after being abused multiple times. I left after being abused, yeah. And no. Even so, even if somebody is abused a few times, you're partially to blame for letting it continue. No. Because the gaslighting, you see, is also abuse. They try to convince you that, just like you're trying to do here, that you're the problem. You're the problem for staying. You're the problem for being abused. And so it's not the abuser's fault he's abusive. It's your fault you were abused. Meaning, that's exactly what George tried to say too, by the way. Is that you, George, behind that account? Idiot. Wouldn't surprise me. Also, victim blaming, by the way, is abuse. It's another form of abuse. It's mental, emotional, and even verbal abuse. So he would try to convince me that I was the problem. His abuse was never the problem, he said. My intolerance of it was. So he would try to bully me or guilt me into staying, or try to say that my reaction to the abuse was the problem, or just as much of a problem as his lack of self-control and abuse. No. Because I didn't stay. When I realized that he wasn't going, of course you stay. Of course you stay. When you care about somebody, if you don't realize they're an abuser, or you don't know about narcissism or psychology, yeah, you're going to stay. Because you think that maybe they'll change. Maybe they just need some time to grow, or forgiveness, right? Until you realize that either they're a narcissist, and that's not how narcissists work, or you realize what narcissism is in general. It's quite illuminating. And you realize that all the little things that they try to mentally and emotionally abuse you with to gaslight you into staying by thinking it was your fault, that was them trying to and you're playing stupid? No. Yeah, see, everyone knows abuse isn't okay. Yeah, that's the thing. And I agree. But you can't blame a victim for not knowing that they're being abused, because I didn't realize I was being abused for a while. One, because I had grown up in abuse. And so George was pretty similar to the abuse that I had dealt with in childhood. In fact, he was worse. But it was close. So it wasn't that much of a red flag until I learned about psychology and took off those rose-colored glasses, so to speak, that I didn't even know I had on. I didn't know any better. So I wasn't choosing to stay in abuse. I didn't know I was being abused. He told me that I was the problem for being upset about the abuse, or I was misunderstanding, or like whatever it was. And that wasn't the case. He was being abusive, and then he was mad that I either called him out on it, wouldn't tolerate it, tried to leave because of it. So that's manipulation. Yep, it's everyone else's fault. No, that's not sucking at life. You have a child's mind. Bitch, I was like 19 years old. I was a child. I was barely over 18. I was pregnant when I turned 21. I didn't even drink. Here's to education, right? Now here we are, a decade more plus later, and he's still stalking and harassing me or sending people to do it because he can't let me go. Because he's obsessed with me, because that's what narcissistic sociopaths do. 19 is a child. Exactly. You sound like a child. I didn't know any better. And then I did. At about 20, when I left him when I was 21. And I'm 33 now. Okay? So I know better. And the second I knew better, I did better. And he got mad at me for it and has been trying to punish me for leaving ever since. Like I said, that's a him problem. 19 it's legally an adult. But no, technically the brain is still developing after 18. Female brains tend to keep developing until about age 25. No. 10 years later, you're still acting like a victim. They've been outside my house today, as of like the last 3 hours, stalking me. That is.
You're still acting like a victim.
No. They're still doing things to victimize people. They're still being criminals. And you're a scumbag. I don't know what you think you're doing. You're not going to convince me or anybody else of anything. If anything, people are questioning if you're George behind the screen and looking at both of you weird. So, no. See, that's what George tries to say. You just have paranoid schizophrenia. Don't even look into the crimes there's evidence that I've committed. She's just crazy because she thinks she's a medium. Just believe everything I say, even though I'm a diagnosed narcissistic sociopath. So you can't believe anything I say. Putting negative thoughts in your head. See, they're just projections and gaslighting. Nobody's listening to you. Be aware of anyone new entering your life, whether it be from a fake account or some asshole with the same demon possession. An earth sign, right. George the asshole, the Taurus. Significant other or ex sending you, I know. Hating on your creative ideas, sitting there, I like the cards. Mm-hmm. Hot and cold, see ya? Up and down. You get heated when you get triggered. Practice return to sender. I feel that here. Judging your family background and culture, like yep, there it is. I feel that here. I said like third eye, crown chakra attacks. Yep, you fucking bitch. Seek someone, I got it, protection. We'll do some protection and Reiki in a minute. Ah, see, told you, it's local. Neighborhood drama. Reese Goff was in front of my house just a couple of hours ago. It was 7:40, I think, p.m. It's 10:45 on the East Coast, so like 3 hours ago. They've still been actively stalking me. An ex-friend is still pressed by what happened. Yeah, and I used to be nice to Reese. I gave him... If you go on my testimonial page on my website, there's a review from Reese on there. He knows I'm a fucking medium and he knows I'm a good one. He left me a raving review. But then he decided to associate with people who were hurting my child and I, so I said, no, you're not a friend. I gotta go. And he got mad at me for it. So he dug his heels in harder and clicked up with George harder. An ex-friend is still pressed about what happened. Vacation. Yeah, see, they're mad. They're mad that I've been taking some time off to pull things together because I've been building and moving forward and also tying off loose ends, some of which include holding these criminals accountable because they've been trying to create blockages or stagnancy. So they're going to be sick. I'm going to take a break. They're going to be sat down and scalded, scorched by the hellfire they tried to send out. Big mad. Anything else? Georgie Porgy, puddin' pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. Chased and stalked and harassed the girls. And made them cry until they got fucking mad. I don't cry anymore. Now I'll hurt you back. See, I used to fawn or freeze. This is why they're mad too. Way back when, I typically would fawn or freeze. Not, like sometimes flight, less fight. Fawn meaning you kind of make yourself small like a little baby deer and hope that it appeases them so they stop being abusive. Or freeze is like you're so scared, the deer in the headlights, you just don't. Bambi, hello. Yeah, I did. I blocked him because I had enough. Education was, I made the point. Tiger's eye. Pull some of that out in a minute. Secretly jealous and hating on your romantic relationships. Transportation, communication. They're going to have nightmares also. Problems with making important life decisions. Anything else? Yeah. Sending dark demons, told you. Dark energies. Hating on your lifestyle and successful choices. Paolo Santo. Didn't I play that song? Yeah, the fawn response. It's one that a lot of people don't know about. There's freeze, which more people know about. There's fight and there's flight, which most people know about if they know about any of them. but there's also fawn. And it's like you get really docile and compliant because you think if you make yourself real small and this insecure person doesn't feel threatened, then they won't feel the need to be so dominating and abusive. And or if you know they're already you learn to watch their body language. You know they're already kind of in a mood for the day for whatever reason towards you or anything else. You know they're more likely to be set off by something or anything or little things. So you go out of your way to either stay out of their way or do extra nice things for them or whatever to try to placate the situation. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. And they're mad about it. They thought that they could beat the shit out of me to bully me back into compliance. I know, bitch. I know better now. I do better. We're not going back. Stay seated. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk. Love you. Envious of your career and the money you make. Told you that earlier. Pocket watching. Just felt that third eye attack clear out. Flicked him right in the evil eye though. Evil eye went blind, didn't it? Secretly keep tabs on your every move. I told you. And I picked it up. The whole stalking thing happening right like half an hour before I go to work. They were watching my social media. They knew I posted what time I'd be live. They thought that they would try to provoke an issue. I don't know. I don't think they thought I would whistle blow so loudly, but yeah, toxic karmic males. I'm calling CPS on Reese now. That motherfucker outside my house tonight has 2 kids and a wife. You better kiss those kids goodbye, bucko. I'm not angry with you. This demeanor, this is not for my people. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If you weren't trying to stir the pot or cause problems, this is not for you. If you're not a pedophile or a criminal, it's not for you. I don't know, that's the thing. I can't imagine that somebody who's stalking a woman is rational enough to be around kids who happens to, I know Reese has had a drug problem, including with opiates before, and is a drug dealer. But he's got a wife who bullied me in high school and also took turns stalking him with him or in rotation with him the last couple of years. Got pictures of her doing it too. Big ass Teletubby. And yeah, this is how I found out they had kids. Because I mind my fucking business. They've been harassing me and mine, you see. But I was in the grocery store the other day, and his ugly, jealous, fat wife pulled up with her big, loud mouth in the grocery store right in front of me and had this little blonde boy with her. And I looked over at somebody who was next to me. I said, do they have kids? Yeah, I think they have 2. No fucking way. CPS, anybody? Hello, Child Protective Services? No, Canada's close to here, though. Are you hearing a northern accent? Canada's, it's a number of hours, but it's drivable. So anyway, they wanted to try to dig up dirt, but they don't have any. So they just fling their own mud and projections at people as a setup attempt. Look, social media. And social media posts directed towards you. I know, I told you. Yeah, trying to stir the pot for an air signer. This is somebody that also has air sign in their chart. And I picked that up a few years ago, that there were people who also were air signs as a sun sign, or whether it was Gemini or something else. And, I felt that and my gut just dropped. And they felt like, well, I'm an air sign too, so I can compete with her. It's so weird. And no, I outrank you. Putting negative thoughts in your head. Take a spiritual bath. And I did. Before I came here, I washed them off. And then they drove by my house. There, the energy shifting again. It's like, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but yeah. Narcissistic behavior, trying to cause generational curses. So it's just like repetitious cycles, or trying to keep you stuck in a toxic situation. Hello, loves. Possess, amulet, have it blessed with protection. Sage. I've got some palo here too. Can't stand to see your grind and hustle. And I show up anyway. I think they wanted to just like spook me or cause me upset so I wouldn't come to work. They didn't expect me to come to work and whistleblow. See, remember when I told you before all this popped off, God told me I could spend a couple of hours. God gave me the clearance to be here for 5 hours tonight. God said, split the feed about halfway in between, and then we'll spend time. So I'm definitely going to shift the frequency back up. We'll do some Reiki. I don't know, maybe we'll watch something or listen to something. We'll vibe out for a bit. Freeze them. This is... No, they're here. They're watching. In fact, they've been in the comment section trying to harass me from fake accounts. So it's not misguided. It's not self-centered. And I'm not the only one dealing with this. This is not a me problem. This is a narcissistic abuse problem. And I'm not the only victim of narcissistic abuse. I choose not to stay a victim. I choose to be a survivor. But when you target somebody like that, you're choosing to victimize them. And that's just definitively what that is. Dictionary. So they're being cleansed out, black tourmaline. I don't have black tourmaline on me. I do have some here somewhere, but I do have brown tourmaline right here. I love this, actually. This is great for a number of things. Yeah, I want some Reiki. And then this is pink tourmaline. Narcissistic behavior. Yeah, you're not going to try to make me feel bad for having an attitude towards people who've been trying to kill me and have sexually assaulted my child, Morgan. But thank you for exposing your deficiencies to us. Yeah. Anything else? Same cards are coming out. Just being told to clear it. White sage, cord cutting. Let's do that now. Here's another one. You want to talk about Freya? When I was little, there were those twin boys I mentioned that were kind of raised as stepbrothers for a time, and they were not nice to me. They used to gang up on me together. It's not misdirected. And I don't need your sympathy. You can go. Yeah, it's a lot. Dealing with this is a lot. I heard that. Ooh, you're gonna make me cry. Morgan is gone. But I am curious. Hold on. I heard, I'm so sorry they did that to you. I appreciate that. So when I was Freya, when I was little, under 10, those twin boys we were at like this daycare after school thing together. And there was this poodle dog named, kind of like Odin, like Freya and Odin, Odie. This just clicked the other day. I was in the shower and I'm like, oh my God. So, and this is also why they've been trying so desperately to gaslight or silence me. Because my words hold power. My voice carries weight. When I speak, people listen, whether they try to argue or not. They hear me. Whether they want to pretend like they didn't or argue or not, they hear me. And so we were outside and we were running, and the poodle was next to me, and the boys were being dicks, and I was just playing, but I said, "Sick 'em, Odie," to a poodle who grew up in a daycare and had never been violent or bitten anybody in his whole life, suddenly went and bit the ass cheek of this boy who was bullying me. And I felt so bad. It was a little girl, but I thought it was my fault. And as a spiritual, it damn was. It was. That dog didn't know what sicko meant. He wasn't trained. He had no, he was a little house poodle. It wasn't the running. It wasn't until I said sick him that he charged and bit him in the ass cheek. That dog did what I asked. And understood me. And in my spirit, I knew it. That's why I felt bad. I didn't realize I had the power until it happened. But it happened. And one of the adults was like, "It's not your fault." I mean, because logically speaking, that dog wasn't trained. He wasn't an attack dog. Sickum should have meant nothing to Odie. But my spirit commanded his, joking or not, and he listened. My words and voice carry weight. That's why they got mad and tried to shut me up. It was one of the twins. I didn't just have one asshole stepbrother figure bully me. I had two of them that looked like each other. Little shits.
Mom G.
Mom. Anyway. That one was kind of a funny story. I don't do that. I'm very careful with my articulation because I know this. But I can. Command.
This is what we need. Sinking and linger for a while. Surging through the Milky Way, I see your soul smile. The essence of our souls intertwined. Moving through the cosmos, and God knows somehow we have combined. Our souls align like the seasons. We don't need a reason. Just ease in your mind. Come bend on mine.
She ruined us. There's no way we can. Yeah, see, they tried to stir the pot and project it on me. They tried to make false accusations and project on me. I flipped it back around, and they're stuck with that accountability. They made themselves look worse by trying to do what they did and tried to cover it up. It's the Streisand effect. And I picked that up earlier. And you know what? I also picked up the same little George click. I picked up a karmic female, a pedophile who's been targeting my daughter and I, who was mixed in with him. And another pedophile, unfortunately. It's just a group of idiots, criminal scum. And I picked up earlier, because she's still been stalking and psychotic too. She was saying, like, what was it? She's going to get away with everything. They were talking about me. She's going to get away with everything we tried to do to her. Meaning, like, we can't falsely accuse her of the shit that we did. We can't try to do the rage baiting reactive abuse thing where we try to poke at her until we upset her, cut out the little part where she's upset and then frame it as the whole problem or the start of a problem, or like she's being mean for no reason, or yeah, throwing stones, hiding hands, and crying wolf is what they were trying to do. And I just showed everybody that they were the wolves in sheep's clothing. Now I learned to come out of fawn response, but I'm not the evil one. I'm going to reboot the stream after this, just to give us a fresh start. I'm going to play some more music and stuff though, but I want to make sure the space is clear. Anything else? Tell me about these assholes online. They're in low vibes. Return to sender. Keep sitting unbothered. Don't worry, I will. My cats listen, typically. Often I don't have to speak. Sometimes it's a telepathic thing. Other times I'll snap my fingers and that's it. They come, they do their thing. We listen. But I do know that as an adult, animal communication is a gift that I have. I didn't understand as a child. I was all tapped into that. I didn't know.
You think you've got it, but baby, I'm the one.
You know what? Here's the fucked up thing that environment though, as a child, I remember that they put handcuffs behind my back. Like they handcuffed me behind my back with these toy handcuffs that those twins had. And then the adults in the house thought it was funny to go along with it, where they pretended like they lost the keys to toy handcuffs that had a safety pop cuff release. And I didn't know this though, they were behind my back. And they weren't mine. Well, let's play cops and robbers. Okay, you be the robber first. Okay. And then the adults in the house thought it was funny to make me sit there with my hands behind my back, uncomfortable, while they sat through a 2-hour movie, terrifying me on purpose, joking about how they would take me to the fire department afterwards when they were done watching their movie, and hopefully they didn't cut my hands off while they were getting the cuffs off. Somebody said, how old? Like, I don't know, like 6, too young. It was not fucking funny. Same house that played adult movies that they shouldn't have. Anyway. And I bring this up because the same people involved with that are connected to George and George's in-laws and the bullies from high school and like all the people who've been causing problems. It's a small community, like you've seen. So the same people who did that to me as a child, these people have been fantasizing about trying to have me falsely arrested and set up and entrapping me for a long time. In fact, they were doing that. I've already told you, locking me out on the inside of rooms and stuff like that as a child. It's crazy. But then they ganged up with people when I was an adult to actually make it happen. But they were plotting that and fantasizing that since I was like 6 years old. And now I'm almost 35. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and the inheritance theft? All those people are mixed in with that too. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a big conspiracy, unfortunately. They're criminal. Yeah. Well, and beyond that, my daughter is still being held hostage. They kidnapped her in the middle of the pandemic and then just stopped sending her home. I haven't seen or heard from her in it's been like 7 years now. And it's not legal. But they're doing shit like this with the dirty cops to drag it out because they don't want to go to prison. Yeah. So it's still ongoing abuse until she's home with me and we don't have to deal with these people at our front doorstep. There's still abuse happening every day. So I'm healing every day while they're still trying to create new injuries or keep existing injuries cut open, basically, metaphorically, energetically speaking, or otherwise. That's why they do this, to try to cause setbacks. It's called convalescence, to extend the convalescence, the time and energy it takes to heal. And it's a crime. Those are damages. I will be suing all of them. When inheritance is on the table, well, my grandmother was in a hospice, but she didn't die of natural, I know. The aunt that took everything with the inheritance and ganged up, she actually went over, in the middle of my daughter being kidnapped, went over to where George was staying and did business with them while my daughter was being kidnapped from me. She went over there to associate with them. Okay. I was visiting my grandmother when that aunt, Stacy Crowley, got off the plane from Florida. And I snubbed my nose up at her because I knew who she was and what she'd been doing, and I left. But not before I heard her and her brother Paul McQuinn, who was a trust fund baby. Stacy wasn't, though. That's why she also had grimy motive to steal. She was the only one of her siblings that wasn't a trust fund baby because she had a different dad. They were talking about what they could do with a doctor to like give her a pill to, I don't know, it was like to dehydrate her or something and like help her along faster. But the second Stacy got there, the door was closed and then she was suddenly gone. But they'd been talking about what they could do to speed up her death. And I've spoken to doctors. That pill that they wanted to give her wouldn't have taken that short amount of time. It would have taken some time still. But do you know what my grandmother has showed me? That Stacy trotted in there off the fucking plane from Florida and put a pillow over her face to smother her. Before going into her house, stealing the gold, stealing the diamonds, the Louis Vuitton, I think she had some Prada in there as well, and some other designer bags, a bank account full of cash, and I was also told about a insurance policy, so like inheritance. And stole my cut and my daughter's cut. She didn't want to wait for my grandmother to die. She wanted to just rob her house and then jump back on a plane to Florida and flee the state as quickly as possible, and she did that. Yeah. So yeah, true colors. Actual murder. That's not a mercy killing, that's murder. For money at that. I hoped I'd have more time with my grandma. I'd give up every fucking piece of material, anything that they got. Even what's entitled to me. If I could just have more time with my grandma, I'd rather have her than stuff. Stuff is replaceable. She's not. Neither is my daughter. It's why I speak. And I do so with gusto. are safe, you are protected, sage. Abundance will be on the way. Yeah. They made it very hard for me to survive. They put me in survival mode and then were taking steps to try to keep me there. And it's been years. Every single fucking day. Every single God-forsaken day. And I'm getting my lick back. I don't want revenge. I want justice. And I'm coming for her. My money and my child. Do I still live near these people? Yeah, unfortunately. I don't plan to stay here. I'm getting the hell out. I just can't leave her. Right? Can't leave her. And have to be able to get myself out of here. Or have help doing so.
This is what we need, what we need. I can feel the energy.
It's been a balance of trying to get out of an very clearly unstable situation that other people have been situationally causing intentional destabilization tactics in, and not making moves recklessly, like too quickly, that would destabilize myself further. It's been a real balance. Always going against you by arguing, never considerate of your point of view, even though my point of view is based on psychology and science and viable perspective. Do you know how stupid you look trying to argue with the science and the psychology I speak just because I'm a psychic, or thinking that you can dismiss science and psychology because she's a psychic and she was a scholar first. Cognitively. I mean, I guess technically I was psychic first, but I didn't know it. If you've talked to me about any of this, other than ghosts, I knew ghosts were real, but like the whole anything spiritual, biblically related, no. Quit thumping your Bible at me in college. It's my example of what God was supposedly was these fake ass church people around here. No. Some of them are the ones involved with the inheritance theft, for Christ's sake. Pardon my French.
This is what we need, what we need. I can feel the energy. This is what we need, what we need.
If I need to leave the goddamn country, then so be it. But I'm not staying here. The demons turned Eden into a hellhole, and I'm not staying. That's funny. So I used to work in high school, or after high school, I worked at a store called Jekyll and Hyde.
Surging through the Milky Way, I see you so smile.
It was a long shift. Those were 12-hour shifts.
Moving through the cosmos, and God knows somehow we have combined. Our souls align like the seasons. We don't need a vision, just ease in your mind. Come into my mind. I can feel your energy.
Are you in Louisiana, Cool Cat? That's where some of George's family's from. Let me show you. Because his cousin got arrested for like big drug bust there. Since it runs in the family. 2 arrested with more. See, they like to call me a meth head, but she got arrested with 1.5 pounds of meth. This is George Eisworth's cousin. And other drugs. Do you know why George... Do you know how I know about the dental stuff? Like, he can't... Because of all the overdoses, because he's an addict, he can't get a prescription from a dentist because Maine is a mandated police report state, and his Social Security's flagged now. It's because he, according to him, rotted all his teeth out by smoking crack. Sean loved to cook crack. And DMT, which he got in trouble for. Fired from... Actually, his father works at American Concrete Industries. Sean and George, you both used to work there. And Sean decided to cook DMT in the back of the shop. And the other workers there, or the boss, somebody smelled it and sniffed it out and found it. And they got fired. 1.5 pounds of meth, among other drugs, a gun, cash, MDMA, hydrocodone, Suboxone, marijuana, amphetamine, heroin, a handgun, and $633 to be exact in cash. George tried to sign up for the military when he was 18 in high school to follow his older brother's footsteps, and his brother went in and came out. But they rejected George's application. And I think it's because they screened him probably for narcissism, and I'm sure they caught that pretty quickly. They don't do that in the police academy, unfortunately. They should. But they do in the military, and I bet you failed the psych exam. Because why else? They target specifically. That's why they go into high schools. They're looking for young, strong, able-bodied men. But he's delusional and a delinquent, so... I think that they screened him and he failed the psych eval. Whether they told him that or not, I don't know, but I think that's what happened. Because why else would they not want a fresh 18-year-old with at that point, no existing health problems, unless it's psychosis, some kind of mental. Look at his behavior. Think that stalking and harassing and sending people after an ex because she doesn't want you or kidnapping a child is normal? Bitch, please. Get a grip. Georgie Pye. Like, legit, stay the fuck away from me. This is why I left your dumbass. This is why I don't want you back. Let's do one more. Anything else you want to tell me before we close this one out and start fresh? Overactive root. Closed-minded. It's their way or no way. Well, you get nothing then. Being extra. They try to compete by doing the most, but they can't keep up. Watching others to see what they can take to make as their own. I told you, they're scumbags and thieves. 111, you're being blessed with a new beginning. Everything, 11 too. Awakening, everything is falling into place. They pretended to be someone that they weren't, but people can see through them now. It's not even a matter. It's not he said, she said. Their behaviors are evident. All right, their trolling alone exposes them. You're about to be showered with prosperity, and they're going bankrupt into prison or the grave. For some of them, 1122. Fear tactics, trying to intimidate. I told you, and that's exactly what I told the police a few hours ago. Reese Goff is stalking my house again. They're trying to intimidate the witness. No! You're going to be in trouble for trying that too, now. Guardians are by your side to assist you. I know. They're pressed. Told you, they can't stop thinking about you sweating, stalking, drive-bys. No, because George also likes MDMA, and he's not just an addict of one thing or the other. He's an addict to anything. Like, anything he can get his hands on. Mushroom, mollies, pills, heroin needles. He likes to boot needles. I mean, like, he's been known to relapse after only being able to stay sober for a few days and go from a beer to a needle full of heroin in 60 minutes, 1 hour, and then end up in the hospital on a heroin overdose. Mandated police report state. I mean, like, I do worry about how crazy your enemies are able to get. And that's why I whistleblow. I don't like doing this. A lot of the times I do this because, A, people that need to know about this in order to protect myself and others now know what's going on. And B, a lot of times when the heat and the spotlight is on them, they decide that maybe what they're doing isn't a good idea anymore. And often back off. Maybe not all of them. Sometimes the same losers try to recruit new ones, or get the old ones to be roped back in. But a lot of them do back the fuck off and realize they fucked up coming from me. And I know that. And frankly, I would too if I were them. So I get it. Cord cut. He also, what is that stuff? Like spice or something? He really liked that. And kratom. Just like anything. He's just an addict. It's time to release them and cut them off. Changes. Something positive is on its... And it's not speculation. He can't even get a prescription from a dentist because the government has flagged his social security number as a narcotic abuser because he's had overdoses at the hospital. And beyond that, he's been dead for over 10 minutes at a time. Multiple times from multiple overdoses. It only takes like 3 or 4 minutes for you to start getting permanent brain damage. Imagine how much mush is inside his head. Imagine how mushy his brain is after being dead for unconscious, not breathing for over 10 minutes, multiple different times. His brain is cooked, if not from that alone, then the drugs. And I don't think he was fully baked to begin with. Anoxic brain, something. Drama followers. They're trying, I told you, just try to recruit new assholes or get the same losers to get back in the game. Because it's a game to them. It's not. It's my life. They're going to prison for committing crimes, but it was a sick and twisted game for them. They're forming a group of followers or friends through drama and negativity. Pause. Things slowed down for a reason. Huh. Don't be fooled by what you see. They're sweating abused abilities. They're about to get cut off. The fake friend. Someone is doing you wrong. Reese. Told you. In fact... Oh, I'm starting to put merch up, guys. I will be making some stuff, putting some clothing and some other stuff up there soon, but I've got a couple of mugs so far. I'll be opening up another website to put some stuff out on. It should be through the same channel. Like, it'll be on my YouTube, some of it, and then I'll also link it back to my website for you. I have had some requests for t-shirts and stuff, so I'm listening. And I love you guys. But I did. What's going on? I'm missing a page. I think something happened. I have to go check those settings. It's on here. That's weird. I can fix it easy. Forgive my brain, but you said he's cooked, and my immediate thought was he's George Foreman grilled. That was hilarious. I mean, that was clever. I'm trying not to laugh so hard, but I have tears welling in my eyeballs. So anyway, there's that. I definitely need to tweak it a little bit, but now that we're here, let's go to the testimonials, shall we? And I left this on here specifically for that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is. Reese Goff. Lexi's clarity and understanding of the messages and symbols in the cards drawn was very impressive. She, as a medium for reaching the more spiritual planes, granted both insight. This is the one who was stalking me a couple hours ago. Granted both insight and reflection on the vibrational energies I have been finding myself lost in or confused about. Calming and reassuring, her demeanor helped to view, conceptualize, and ruminate on the inner trauma that blocks chakra points and meridians. They say that knowing there's a problem is the first step to righting it, and Lexi was more than influential in determining where the clouds dampening my inner light were stemming from, and potential routes for positive and productive changes in both my spiritual aura and position in this physical realm. Well, I guess he backslid, didn't he? Bum behavior. It's on my testimonial page. Good God. Fake friend. Their lack of creativity and originality is making them jealous. Ooh, big mad bitch. They can't understand how you're so favored it's eating at them. Hello. They're trying to point you in the wrong direction. See, it was a distraction dissuasion tactic. You'll be getting downloads on them and trying to send you nightmares or have insomnia. It's because they're sweating. Identity thief. They took on yours and others' identities. I told you. They were even making fake accounts and sending either themselves or other people messages pretending to be me. They even took screenshots of the fake accounts that they made and took them to court and tried to set me up with them. Claimed that they needed protection from me while they were harassing me and making fake accounts to try to set me up. Like idiots, as if I couldn't be traced back to them. Dumb. I got away with it for a while, a long time, so... And? That was always going to come to an end. I had some dirty cops supporting me. And now people know what you did that are also upset at the dirty cops and ready to handle them too. So who's going to save you? Now there are people investigating the dirty judges and the lawyers that you paid, often with stolen goods and money, too. And the wire fraud? I won't even get into the taxes or the fact that they were filing on a kidnapped child during the pandemic because people that filed for benefits with children got thousands of dollars extra, you see. Or the fact that they were starting to kidnap children in general and at all, and then were claiming the children on their taxes every single year, even though court paperwork said that that wasn't legally viable and that the alternate years at minimum were supposed to be split. So they just filed fraud everywhere they could, didn't they? Where's my kipper? Heard that. I fucking hate her. You're a piece of shit. Apology. Oh no, you can save your fake ass apology. Fuck off. I don't want it. And apology or not, I'll never trust you again, so what the fuck is the point? Pray. Religion, donation. You know what? I heard something about the Eucharist earlier. Eucharist. So it's like the bread and the blood of Christ, drinking the wine and what have you. Eucharist. Overload. Now they're feeling, yeah. obligation, overwhelm. Well, that's a backfire because that's where they wanted me. And it was a lot to have to deal with all those assholes and all the extra stuff and put my work and my healing and everything like to the side just to deal with legal paperwork and protections. Wow, protest, right? Have to stand up against abuse. No, fuck off. You're gonna pay for that. Care, loneliness, triumph. That's funny. I've got Triumph by Bishop Briggs up on the screen in here already. So, wow. So there's help coming through. There's love and help and support. Triumph, victory, luck. Anything else? I want that kipper. I don't know where it went. Heck is my kipper? Did it fall? It might have fallen somewhere. It's a really small deck. It's fine. I have another deck that I can use actually. Let's try this one. True crime cards, yep. Tell me about George. Thanks, cool cat. Told you about the shadows. Investigate what lies hidden in the shadows of a situation. Look beyond the surface to uncover underlying truths. Exploration. I'll name names if you provoke me. So they tried to hide. Anything else? Veil of secrecy. Yeah, he tried to hide. The puzzle solved, but the detective instincts. But he's been exposed. He's been exposed. Hidden motives. Yeah. And that's one of the things I was reporting. Who was involved, why they were involved, how they did it. Just anything that a crime investigator would need to do their job, and also what a court would need to prosecute. The unveiling light. And I exposed them. Anything else? I'm not done. I'm still going to court. I'm dragging this shit to court. The legal puzzle. Right. They're still going to have to face charges. I think sometimes they thought, well, she's made these police reports and nothing's been done. And like I told the police today, when this is settled, as this is being settled, once this gets pushed further to court, they're going to question why you didn't do your jobs, why you let this happen, why you helped them do this. And they will, which is also why I'm going to be bankrupting the Bar Harbor Police Department too. And it's kind of fucked up, although it's fair to the community, isn't it? Right? Most of them, because it was the community of people here that did this or let this happen. Is when the police department fucks up and has to pay out to a victim, it's not the police department that pays out. It's the taxpayer dollars. So it's all the grimy people who decided to be assholes to me who are going to have to pay for the police helping them do that shit or helping them cover it up for a while when they thought they were getting away with it. So it really, while they thought that they were digging into my pockets, it's going to come back out of theirs. All of theirs. And cost some of those dirty cops their pensions. Mug. The mug. Oh yeah. I like teacups. Okay. The universe is handling it right now. Pay attention to the signs to see what must be done next. Right. Trying to do spells to control your love life. conversation starter, always have to check up on you for new ideas. Mental breakdown. They're losing it without your energy, which is why they decided to come be energy vampires and pick an issue. Yeah, my clothing accessory line is called Freya Fabrics. It is something that I had planned to do a number of years ago. And because of all of this stuff that they've been causing problems with, I had to put that all on hold. I couldn't even think about how to start doing that. But now, not only have I been doing that, I've also been putting the creative work behind it. So we're here. I'm still building, but here's a start. Now, right now, this Freya fabric is through my actual website. Although I do have, these are sold through a dropship website. So I'm not going to be doing the shipping or anything. They're companies that do the printing and shipping for me to you. However, I made sure to do my research, and out of all the available options, picked the best quality companies. The things that I was looking for were consistency in, a big thing for me is product quality. I want the clothing to be nice. I don't want it to be cheap. I don't want the prints to be cheap. I don't want the fabric to be, I want them to be nice clothes that you like to wear. Soft t-shirts, not ones that are just giant and baggy and hang loose and have no cut and no, I want you to like what you have. I'm not going to put out garbage. So I started with mugs, the clothing line, because those are a little easier. But the clothing I wanted to do a bit more research into. And I have the platforms, but I've been doing a bit more research. I did some more today, actually. Started moving on that into exactly what items, like what gear I wanted to put out so that you have options. And then shipping is another one. Shipping and customer service. I want you guys to have good quality products and consistency. Okay. Your money's worth. So, do they send you no. I can buy them. And so I do intend to check out a couple of things, and it's also why I've been moving a little bit more slowly. Here, I'll do you a solid. I heard that. I'm being called to be quiet. It is in the description box of this video if you check. And you should be able to click that one. Yep, mugs. Be putting some other stuff out soon. So a little bit of sports gear and a full range of clothing, from pants to shirts and hoodies and hats, visors. I got you. Hem's gonna make a comeback. Yep. Hi, Bri. How are you? Does it? Yeah, hem clothing is pretty supreme material. That's why that guy made it illegal. That's why weed was illegal. Because it was a superior material, even for rope. Blocked. You're protected from their energy. They can't come through. Big mad bitch. That came out in the other deck too, so they were super mad. They cannot understand how you're so favored and it's eating at them. You're on the right path. Balance and harmony. Wealth and abundance and opportunities are on the way, and you have the drive and motivation, as I'm talking about rebuilding, getting back on track, having new stuff to... The more I get myself realigned, the more I have to give back, not just in like what I have to offer, but of my time and my energy. Also, without having to be a warrior bad bitch. I'm not very fond of that part. Often. It's exhausting and I'm fucking sick of it. But it kept me alive. It's just not very nice. I prefer the other parts of me when I hang out with you guys. I don't need to bring the warrior out with my people. But I do bring it out to protect myself and others. Don't get me wrong. I love her. I love that part of me. She's a fucking bad bitch and she kept me alive. Kept me fighting for what was right and people, the well-being of others. But I don't want to. I would never have a government job. I would never, ever, ever contract myself to the government. I don't want to be a soldier or even a lawyer. I don't want to deal with court. But I do what's right, even when I don't like it. And I can sleep just fine at night because of that. I've lost plenty of sleep over concern about the well-being of other people, knowing that they're in danger or that people are trying to target myself and my family, knowing that if something happens to me, that my daughter's fucked. But I've never lost a wink, not an ounce, over whether or not whistleblowing or clapping back at somebody was the right thing to do. I don't feel bad about that. Not any single lick of guilt. Producing an income, no. I mean, like, signing myself over to go into the military, like contracting myself into the military, and I wouldn't do that. Especially given who our warmongering president has been. Hello. We're strapped in court with assholes and liar. And like exhausting. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Exactly. It's black and white. Just like these legal cases here. There's no argument. They thought it was like a pissing contest or popularity contest. No, it's black and white and they violated it and they're done. They're cooked like Thanksgiving geese. Turkeys. So there's that. Guys, I'm so ready to shift this energy around. Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. No, I pay taxes. I'm a law-abiding citizen. So I also had an issue with these people committing tax fraud and evasion. Especially against me, stealing from me. I'm like, no, fuck off. And you know what the funniest thing is? After bullying me to the point where a federal judge said, yeah, they've beaten the shit out of you to the point where, like, you don't have to work. Again, they started stealing that money too, those resources that were supposed to help me heal. George went around and tried to say, oh, she's on welfare and she's on... Actually, I don't. There's just food stamps. I don't have those. But according to his last round of paperwork, he's been filing them. He likes to bully people into qualifying for certain things, like government assistance and help, and then try to shame them for qualifying for it. But he doesn't want people to know that he's actually claiming and filing for the exact same things he's trying to shame people for, because he's been filing for food stamps and home assistance and all kinds of shit while trying to bully other people at all for it, let alone that he is bullied into qualifying for it. Or stolen from people to the point where it's destroyed their finances or their lives to the point where they qualified for it. He wants to shame people for getting government help. But then he'll kidnap children to file extra, what's that, PPP loans? No. The stipends, the government stipends, tax fraud and all kinds of shit. And food stamps. File for food stamps. Come on now. The hypocrisy. Yeah. I mean, the whole bit about me not wanting to be a warrior, that's what qualified me for a disability. Is the complex PTSD. It's veteran level combat trauma. A lot of military vets don't even come back with that. Some of them do. Plenty of them only come back with regular PTSD. Meaning that what George did to me is a lot worse than a lot of vets come home with. They end up better off coming back from a war because he made a war zone out of my life. So that's what it was. Except for the military vets get training before they go to war. I didn't. I had to figure that shit out by myself as I went. Yeah. So I'm so sorry to hear that also, Mario. That's awful. That's why I smoke. They offered me Percocet and muscle relaxers, and I said, nope. No, not for me. Anything else? Backstabber, they'll do anything to get their way. Third eye closed, they can't see shit. Well, I know what's about to come. So I've been laughing at their asses. Damage. They've got holes in their aura, and I did work to repair mine today, actually. That's why they came to try to cause problems. Trust in the angelic realm that you're connected to. Don't worry, I will. They're losing it without your energy. Always need to check up on you. Training doesn't prepare you for the psychological side of war either. No, not entirely. I mean, like, you can get all the training that you want, but it can sometimes be a little different when you're actually out in the field. Oh yeah, I'm ready to close this energy cycle out and start a new one. But I don't want to talk about these people or let that energy leach into the next live. They're not worth the energy. Don't get me wrong, if I need to drag a bitch, I will, but I would prefer not to. You know? Agreed, man. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Nimbus, what's up? I hope you're okay, Mario. Also, don't let people shame you. Don't ever let people shame you for that. If you're hurt, you're hurt. I heard that. They're crying now. You're so fucking pretty and I can't keep up with it. Yeah, didn't the card say that? They will try to do the most to keep up with you, but they can't, or something like that. Compete with you, but they can't keep up. Skating in a row. Yeah, I like roller blades though, not roller skates. Like the strips of them, the long single strip of wheels, not the 4 ones. It's been a very long time, but I preferred rollerblades. Yeah, I love those. Also, I don't know why, but I just got a flash of this. The skip it thingies, you know, the thing you would put on your ankle. I loved my skip it. Why? It's fun. Inlines, is that what they're called? Yeah, I like those. When I wore them, it's been a long time.
You know, I've seen that. Skating absolutely making a comeback, which I think is kind of cool. Oh, if my daughter was here and she had a pair and she wanted to go, I would full ass put on a pair and go get back on my feet on a pair of blades with her. I don't know if I would do it myself right now, but yeah, if she ever wanted to do that, I would join her. Stalking and abuse, it's been a pretty hectic issue, ongoing incident, but I appreciate that, Jason, and absolutely. In fact, I'm getting ready to reboot the live in just a second, and we're going to shift the frequency up. Smoke a whole bunch of weed, because I've not been doing that. I need to right now. And maybe do some yoga. Win the limbo contest. You know what? I used to pretty regularly win those. They had those at birthday parties and stuff. How low can you go? Pretty low. Get in there. Good, man. Not beer, but I have been drinking tea and like protein drink out of this. I just like it because it's so big. It's like a giant. It's like two cups in one almost. Are you okay? What are you doing, baby? Let me help you. I don't really like that. I know what that noise is. Do I need to make it easier for you to get up there? Because that's a big jump. And I don't really want you to have to jump that far. It's a big jumpy. Tea. No, I don't like sugar in my tea. Psychic. Yeah. Oh, baby. I love you. I love you so much. Yeah, I'm coming for the good vibes, Mom. You're my baby. There's another kitty behind me. I feel it. Let's go. Still in the bedroom. Knees hurt. Oh, yeah, don't push yourself. Careful, babies. Although I will say that sometimes, like gentle, oh baby, sometimes gentle stretching can actually help a lot. Like if I'm sore, sometimes you don't want to push it. Sometimes you need a rest for sure. But other times, it can actually help. I love you. I do. You're so pretty. I hear this song. I'm gonna play one. I heard that. I'm so sorry that they did that to you. It something about my demeanor, like it changes my demeanor. Yeah, I have to get into bad bitch mode, and I can do that, but yeah, no, it's not very nice. I think it's funny, a little bit funny though, that they think I'm mean when I have to do that. You're mean when you have to go into bad bitch. You're being mean to bully me into bad bitch mode. What do you mean? You don't like that I won't tolerate your cruelty? So I flip the bad bitch switch?
And the bad bitch intimidates you? Well, you tried to intimidate me first. Fuck off. The fuck?
Once.
Right. Hello. Oh, she's right. Yes! Oh, yeah. Sweet dreams, Max.
I watch your troubled eyes as you rest.
I'll be back tomorrow if you choose to join. And I hope that you have a good... Can I do some Reiki before you go? You sleep well. If you want to go, you can certainly do that. What I might do is actually just save it for the next live, but if Maxie Max wants some, I'll hold the space.
And I fall in love with every breath. I wonder if those eyes are really shy. And am I the one you're dreaming of? 'Cause underneath the darkness, there's a light that's trying so hard to be seen. And I know this, 'cause I've noticed a little bit shining through the seams. And if this is what it takes, then let me be the one to bear the pain. Ooh, if this is what it takes, I'll break down these walls that are in our way. This is what it takes. Keep on telling me I'm wasting time, but to call it wasting time, oh, that's a crime. And you think it's crazy what I'm trying to do. Well, baby, I'm a fool for you. 'Cause underneath the darkness, there's a light that's trying so hard to be seen. And I know this, 'cause I've noticed a little bit shining through the seams, yeah. And if this is what it takes, let me be the one to bear the pain. Ooh, if this is what it takes, I'll break down these walls that are in our way.
I felt that in the solar plexus and the sacral. It's like it's energy vampirism. They're doing power of 3. I've been hearing it the last couple of days. Power of 3 will set us free spells. No. You're calling on the Trinity, the divine source, to protect you from me because you're scared of the consequences of your actions for bullying me. But the problem with that is it's the Trinity who's telling you what you're doing, little karmic rat. Who's protecting me from you, you little karmic rat, and why you have no protection. That same Trinity is giving you karma, you little karmic rat. So no. Leave people and their children alone. Leave people and their money alone. Stop trying to snatch people's ideas. It's not inspiration when it's theft, especially when you give no credit.
'Cause if you don't understand yet, and I'll never let you forget, you don't have to do this on your own.
Because I That wasn't a protection spell that they were doing. That's why my gut dropped. It was an attack at me, right? Because they're trying to protect themselves from the consequences of their actions for hurting me, which means they're trying to get away with hurting a victim, meaning to keep a victim in the... If they get away with hurting me, that means that my daughter never comes home and the situation is never balanced, that the pain that they caused and the separation and damage that they caused just remains. No, that has to be fixed and closed, and you have to pay for that. Delusional.
I'll be your shoulder to lean on. I'll be your ride when you feel wrong. So come on, take my hand, we're moving on.
So what you're doing is trying to attack me and ask for help, attacking me again while I'm protecting myself from you. And you think that my self-defense against your attack is an attack, and it's not. It's not tit for tat. You should have minded your fucking business and stayed away from my child and I wouldn't have had to speak up or defend myself. Toodaloo.
And
if you had left it at that and understood that me defending myself was me rebalancing the scales that you tipped out of alignment, then it would have been that. But you decided to take my self-defense against your abuse as a reason to continue that abuse and keep upping the ante. And it wasn't tit for tat. It was you continually being abusive and me continually having enough of your shit. That's a crime. Rot in prison.
this is what it takes. Let me be the one to bear the pain. Oh, and if this is what it takes, I'll break down these walls that are in my way. This is what it takes.
I love you guys. I feel you. All right, let's reboot. I'll be back here in 15, 20 seconds for those who want to join me on the next one. For those who do not, thanks for being here. I had hoped that Cha-Cha slide. So funny. I'll play it if you do it with me. But the aim is to shift the frequency back up in the next one. So, oh, I feel that right in my heart. Yeah, it's heavy, isn't it? It hurts. It's not nice. But it's important. Can't ignore it. If I ignore it, people still get hurt. Children stay stuck in abuse. I can't do that. 190-22. 1206. And it's not just children, and it's not just mine. There's something called legal precedent in a court of law. What legal precedent means is, let's say that there is a pattern of cases and a judge rules in a certain way on these cases. Like here. Usually I've seen them do it to men, what they did to me. But I was always the man, the adult in the relationship, always had to be. Hello. Wore the pants. Not with Dre, it was balanced comparatively, but they're mad. I'm being called to be quiet for now about this one. I won't get too deeply into it, but there are a few cases where they've done this to other people.
So the corruption locally has been a problem for a while. They damaged people the same way or similarly to the way that they damaged me. Caused trauma in men, even. After dragging them through the mud for years. But eventually those people won those cases. Because it wasn't legal or corrupt. It doesn't matter how long people thought that they got away with things. Eventually they had to pay. Legally, but also in millions of dollars in damages. I am entitled to millions of fucking dollars from these people. And that's why they wanted to stick a sock in my mouth. Not even just based on those other cases. I was building multi-million-dollar income when they started targeting me because they were jealous and pocket watching. But those are business damages. They interrupted me as I was in the process of building a multi-million-dollar residual income. So they have to pay for any money they cost me and then any money that I would have made had they not interfered. And they don't have millions of dollars. They've been stealing scrids. And paying people with pennies comparatively to bully me after stealing from me first. They don't have millions of dollars in damages to pay, let alone multiple. Money makes not just enemies, but killers. It does. Yeah, I know. I watch a lot of true crime. You know what the two top things that I find pretty regularly in the true crime cases are? Money motive or like jealous exes and some shit. Or both. Pretty regularly. Those are the two top themes. Or somebody's just psychotic mental abuse, mental illness. Sometimes all of the above. How am I dealing with it? Are you asking like, how are you dealing with all this right now? Or like, how are you? How am I dealing with it? I don't have a choice. If I didn't, I'd be dead. How am I dealing with it? I'd be better if I wasn't. Much better. But I'm grateful to be alive still. And the discomfort is temporary. It's a passing stage. I'm moving through a portal gateway right now. They can see me and hear me moving through it, but they can't come with me, and that's why they're panicking. They were trying to throw ropes and drag me back with a lasso. No, bitch. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Spiritually speaking in that case, but to answer both of those questions, candidly, not great compared to how I could be, but definitely better than those assholes are doing, I'd say, because I'm not doing what they're doing. I'm not stooping to that level. Nor would I ever. Not on my worst day. And they're claiming to be at their best. We are not side by side. There's no split screen image, Russ. Cheers. My doors and windows always stay locked, even in the day. Yep. That's one of the things that George also likes to do, go around and check people's windows and no. Got weapons by the door and in the drawer. So I'm Gucci. It was kind of a bummer to need to get protection, but they wanted to push the issue. Now, would I actively go out and intentionally be violent towards somebody? No, because I already picked, oh, she's got weapons, she's a violent bitch. No, those are staying here so that if you decide to be a dumbass criminal and try to show up on my doorstep like you did again today, Reese, I'm good.
but I wouldn't recommend it. And when I say Reese, I mean any of these idiots, because he's just one of the narcissists in the group. Austin, I love you, dude. See, this is why that. SeraFae, you got to get in a different vibe. I know it's hard to believe. That's why whenever you say, like, you're sorry, you don't want me to think that, Queen of the High Ratchet, that you enjoy people being bullies. I knew you just thought it was funny the way I clapped back at them. You don't like seeing me be picked on, but you think it's funny that I pick on them back. And I agree. That, I knew that. I appreciate you saying that. And you've never said that before like that. But I knew that. I felt that. And I appreciate that. And that's why I never took it to heart. I knew better with you. I feel you. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to reboot the feed right now. No more on this topic. Because what it is, they're energy vampires. They wanted my attention. They didn't want to be exposed like this. So I Uno reversed them. They wanted my attention. They wanted to chase clout off of my name. I think some of them thought that I was scared because I wouldn't speak their names before. No, I just didn't want to give them the clout that they wanted. But eventually they'd crossed the line too many times or too severely, and I have to. But this is the thing. You want my attention so badly. You want me to speak your name. You want to chase clout off of me, my existence, my name. But if you get so bad to the point where you push me past not wanting, not being afraid of you, not too afraid to speak your name, not wanting to give you the attention or the clout you're trying to chase off of mine, to having to whistleblow because you were so bad, if it gets to that point where I have to drop your name, you don't want your name in the mix of that shit anymore, do you? Uno reverse twice. Yoga shortly, yeah. It's always a good vibe. Music, maybe a true crime, we'll see, but definitely some music first. I don't know about the true crime tonight. Definitely yoga and music. I already have shorts, yoga shorts waiting. Cheers. Blessings, guys. Harry, I'm so sorry they did that to you. I really love you guys. We'll be all right. Moving through it. Thank you for being you. And, ooh, gosh, you made me cry. Holding space and love for me too. While I move through it, I appreciate that. It's been a lot. You got it, chillin'. Do no harm. Take no shit. And I'll catch you on the next one. Remember to pray. I'm praying for you guys every day, even more on the days where I'm not on screen. Trying to send Reiki out too. Been starting to do that in posts for you on days that I'm not on screen so you can still have some help here and there. I got you. One love.